Okay, guys, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I will be your friendly dungeon muser today. Today, we are playing a very special one-shot session, which is the first of my open table sessions on the channel. This is a chance to play some games with folks who do not get a chance to make it to my regular games. So, yeah, this should be exciting. Today, we are going to be playing Paizo Publishing's very cool Pathfinder 2nd Edition fantasy role-playing game. And we're going to have it set, actually, in... Whoop, did I lose it here? The classic D&D setting, Eberron. And with me today are the stars of the session. I'll go in the order I got you guys on the screen here, and then, Sean, I don't have you on the screen, but I'll get you to sign in at the end. Tell us who you are and who you're playing. First up is Sean.
Hello, I'm Sean. I'm playing Rodrigo Ortiz, and yeah, I don't know what else to say.
Nice. And next up is Greg.
I'm playing Sophilum. Maybe that's right. Guess he's a sorcerer, and I'm stuck with the healing.
Nice, stuck with yes. The short straw. And currently trying to make a successful computers check is Sean.
Hey, I'm playing Dox, stealthy rogue, bit of an idea of self-importance, diplomat, but usually working his own angles.
Nice. So stealthy, in fact, you can't even see him in Roll20.
Exactly.
So as kind of setting the groundwork, too, we had some discussion before we went live, too, to talk about system or whatnot, but Greg, you mentioned you got familiarity with 5e, and you've read some Pathfinder 2, but you haven't actually played it yet. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay, and Sean, how about you? What's your level of experience with PF2?
I have played it twice, but
Okay.
I played PF for many, many years, and that's kind of my main thing. I played is Pathfinder
Nice.
and D&D 3.5, and so
Excellent.
I've seen a lot of videos too, so I feel pretty comfortable with how it works.
Yeah, and I mean, like, if you've got the game is, I think, is very it's very, very intuitive as well too. Like,
Yeah.
I think especially the 3-action economy, one of the big selling points for me is just how fast and cinematic it feels, and how, it's funny that it feels faster in some ways to some of the OSR games I run, which is not what you would expect from a modern game like PF2. But today's session is going to be set in again in the setting of Eberron. So this is a setting that we're going to kind of introduce the to the players. Are either of you guys familiar with Eberron?
I think no, I'm not very familiar with it, but
Okay.
you told us about it.
I know it. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, then that's
I've
perfect.
seen the name several times, but
Yeah.
other than that, yeah.
Okay, so the nutshell version of it is that this is a setting of steampunk and sorcery and war and intrigue. Our story today, the signature event that makes up the Eberron setting, is not known to you guys, hopefully, then. So that's going to make this an even better session. We'll start off with a cutscene, as is often the case in my games. So what we hear, let me fade out what we've got here and fade in some other music. And what we hear is, first off, that we see all black. And we hear some kind of vibrant music playing in the background. And in white lettering, we see across the screen, 15 years ago. And we hear a woman's voice saying, Rodrigo, 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 wake up! And Rodrigo, you wake up, and what we see is a young man. A boy. He is probably about between 12 and 14 years old. He has dark hair, dark curly hair, and he's kind of lying back in this relaxing kind of like chaise longue kind of couch. We can hear the sound of this kind of vibrant music in the background, and as he looks around, he can see that he is in effectively like a incredibly beautiful, ornate garden. This is the home estate of the Ortiz family. And the person who is waking you up, Rodrigo, is your mother. And your mother is dressed in this beautiful, long, ornate kind of like lots of lace and, jewels stitched into it. She's looking down at you, her hair in this perfect kind of like ornate headdress kind of thing. And her makeup is impeccable. She's beautiful. And but she looks very cross with you. Rodrigo, I swear you could sleep anywhere. Have you found Arturo? I told you to keep an eye on him.
I was just resting my eyes for just a minute.
Resting your eyes. This is always what you say. Arturo, our guest will be here soon. He needs to be ready and cleaned. Now you know that Arturo is your younger brother. You probably have a family. How many? Syrians typically have fairly large families. How big do you think your family is?
Being a royal family, like the immediate family, I would say probably 5 or 6 kids.
Okay, yeah, love it. So you're probably somewhere near the top end of that. And Arturo is actually only 3. So you kind of are, you've lost track of him. And you have...
One second. I'm
Sure.
going to mute it because I got a baby just woke up.
No problem.
Timing. So just give me a minute to...
Of course.
Yeah.
So let's... Oh, and I can get... Where is it here? Oh, I forgot to put it on repeat, too. There we go. So while we are waiting for Rodrigo to return, let's talk about just a bit maybe about Sovolom's background. So we talked a bit about this before the session as well. But Greg's playing an ex-member, a half-elf who was a member of House Lyrindar, one of the dragon-marked houses that is one of the kind of power players in the Eberron setting.
All right.
Okay.
Perfect timing.
Excellent. So, Arturo is about 3 or 4 years old, and you were supposed to be keeping an eye on him, but, you fell asleep.
Am I the eldest son?
You are the eldest son. You can see in the background your sister. The sound is the band that is going to be playing tonight, and your sister is dancing the tago, the signature, high energy kind of Siren dance. This is kind of, it's your sister's kind of coming out party, or it's kind of like the Siren equivalent of a debutante ball. So you guys all need to be there to present well and whatnot.
Okay.
And it's judging from where the sun is in the sky. Oh boy, like it's getting pretty close, and Arturo he has a great love of getting filthy. So
okay, and he's probably in like the fine little boy suit type thing.
Exactly. Yeah. It's he's probably been dressed up in it by his mom, so it's going to take some creative redressing to get him back if he's gone where you think he is. Okay. And where you think he is, you guys have on the property this beautiful, ornate, like magically accented with these floating lanterns and stuff, this hedge maze. Mm-hmm. That kind of, and it's the part of the clever bit of the hedge maze is that it will magically rearrange itself. So, it can be an actual game to go through. You can also, instruct it with a certain word so that it'll clear it up to just be like hedges and you can get your way straight through to the center. Okay. And at the center of the maze is what's called the prize pool. And it's basically like this beautiful, ornate, thing full of magically augmented plants and things like that. And that's where you find him because he loves getting dirty in there. There's planters, pots, and stuff like that. And there are these, basically, if you picture like small little magical versions of Venus flytraps, but that have a little bit more empathy. And he loves feeding stuff to them.
Okay.
So what do you say? Mom is not pleased. Hands are on hips and all.
I will. I know where he is. I'm going to get him right now, and then we will come back and be ready.
You better. They just arrive within the hour.
Just
and get yourself ready too.
Okay. Yes.
So you are in a sprint, and you make your way across the property. You can see there's servants, both mundane and magical, who are trying to get things ready. Your family is going all out and is actually has commissioned some Warforged, which are part of the new, relatively new, kind of a like race or batch of magical automatons that were created partially to fight in the war, but also the rich have started repurposing them for for gaudy purposes. There's a couple of Warforged butlers that are basically working the property. But being that your character is a little martial-minded, I think you recognize that, of course, these things are... This is like dressing up a gun, or... there's no firearms in this setting, but like it's dressing up a suit of armor.
Right.
And, so... But you make your way over to the garden. You know what the secret, kind of the command word is to get this thing to rearrange. Do you do that to get yourself clear to him fast, or are you just trying to navigate through to get to him?
I'm worried about my mother and her stern gaze, so I'm going to go as fast as I can to get there. So I will use the secret word.
Okay. So you cry out in the Assyrian dialect, and then the all the hedge mazes kind of like you hear as the stones and stuff rearrange themselves, and you've got a clear shot through to the prize pool. It takes you about maybe 3 minutes to reach there, 3 or 4, now that you've got a clear shot, and you're a pretty healthy young man. And as you come running into the yard, you first look over to the one side and to where those plants are. And like he's not there. Where the hell? And you look over, and he's standing smack dab in the middle of the pool. And he seems to be standing there and staring down. Arturo's a curious and kind of precocious kid. You've never seen him do anything like this before. And by this point, the sound of the Tago music has come down a bit, and we hear the wind, and light rain begins. Sun shower, surely to pass. But the start of the rain does nothing to Arturo. He's staring down. Would you kindly give me a perception check too? Let's see how much you... So what you do that is, if you go to the first tab on there's 2 ways. One of them is initiative. One of them is actually perceiving. Mm-hmm. It's going to be the same result, to be honest, but give me a perception roll. Let's see what...
So let me just get my profile up.
Sure.
Oh, there you go.
Nice. Okay, so here's what you notice, is when you're looking at him, you realize... So the pool itself has, some, like I mentioned, some floating things in there as well. But you look, and I mean, the gardeners often try and sometimes, will work minor enchantments. One of the things that is a signature of Eberron is that magic is everywhere. It's incorporated into all aspects of life. And they will often, design or rearrange the things to have, if it's a spring fest, they'll have lots of bright colors. If it's a, specific animal they'll have that in there. But this has this strange, all the plants in there have drifted into this bizarre pattern that doesn't really seem to look like anything. It has a order to it when you're looking at it for any length of time, and it's almost a hypnotic kind of order to it. Like it's in the sense that the level of detail that comes out as you're looking at it more closely, it really draws you in. And it appears that Arturo is standing in the center of this. And the falling rain as it comes down, the plant matter that makes up this stuff are like small petals and flowers and, kind of stretching vines with little bits of blooms on them. It doesn't seem to disturb them whatsoever. What do you do?
I'll call out to him first and try to get his attention. Arturo, come here. What are you doing, buddy? Or whatever
Yeah.
I would call
Yeah,
her.
yeah.
Arturo, what are you
Nothing.
doing? Nothing.
Nothing at all.
Well, so you said the rain is falling and it's like rippling on the water, but the plant life is not being disturbed by it or something? Okay.
Plant life isn't being, like you would expect that as it's being hit, as the water surface is being disturbed, it's going to, at least some of it would break apart. None of it seems to be moving.
I will approach kind of, not necessarily carefully, but like normal speed, but like kind of looking around and trying to figure out what's going on, because his back is to me, right? I'm assuming I can't see his face.
Yeah.
So I will approach to try to get to him to pull him out of the water.
So as you're getting closer, you can feel this kind of like I think pressure is maybe the way to describe it. As you're getting closer to this design, and as you're getting a better view of it, you get closer, you can see down into it, because I mean the pool is low. There's a small ledge that kind of keeps the water in. That's not the one I want. This is what I want. And as you get closer, you can see that there is this bizarre, but distinct pattern. And as you're looking down at it now, you don't need to make a roll for this, because anyone, any inhabitant of Corvair, the continent on which Seer is located, anyone can recognize a dragon mark. And looking down, this is a mark of, it looks to you like the marks you would see in the dragon marked houses, or the marks that appear sometimes on the surface of Eberron, that represent manifestations of this impossibly complex and powerful prophecy that it's rumored even the dragons themselves do not understand.
Okay.
You've never seen anything like this before. And from what you have heard, this should represent as kind of a blazing mark of power. And yet, Arturo stands in the middle, staring down, and is still completely insensitive to the falling rain, makes no indication that he's heard you. What do you do?
So you're saying there's a pressure kind of like it feels like a bubble or something, like pushing out from it?
It feels like something, for some reason, your heart is beating faster, your breath is becoming more labored. You feel just like the weight of something on you.
Okay. I'm going to take one step closer to see if it increases that feeling like of pressure.
It does.
Okay.
And
are there,
as you step closer, so you're kind of on the edge of the pool right now.
Mm-hmm.
You think you can hear something. It's the soft sobbing of Arturo.
Well, okay, so being around 12 to 14, I'd probably not just... I think that I would... Is there any vines or sticks on the ground around here that I could... I'd like to, if they're more so, I'd like to grab a vine than a stick and see if I could, like, swing it over and pull him away. So
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's probably you race over, and as you get away from it, the further you get away from that pattern, the better you feel. Yeah. Although knowing now that you've heard Arturo's cry, that's all you can hear.
Okay.
You can hear, the sound of your brother when he's in pain or upset. So you race over to this kind of like this lattice work that has vines, kind of making its way up in this artful way. You wrench them off of there, and you get a long enough and thick enough rope. So you go racing back. And what do you do?
I try to kind of, not making a lasso, but like you take two sides of the end and kind of throw it over top of him, so I can pull him away.
That actually might be something that is, it's ringing a bell. I think that might be like lasso work or like bullfighting kind of stuff. That actually might be a Siren thing as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So you you get that, and you're just trying to get around Arturo.
Yeah. So I'm not even like tying the lasso or making a circle to like wrap around him. It's more
Yeah.
just like getting of the ends of the rope and kind
Sure.
of going over his body and trying to pull him out of the
Excellent.
water.
Yeah. Why don't you give me? Okay. So in PF2, the way they model most of this stuff now is just with athletics checks.
Okay.
So your athletics check. Go ahead and give me an athletics check, and let's see how that goes. Nice. Yes, you easily get that around, and you yank. Arturo kind of, falls back, and then like a little kid who's startled, he just immediately falls to the ground, and in the into the pool. And almost as suddenly as it, as omnipresent and as oppressive as that feeling was, it's gone. Arturo falls in the water. He splashes to the ground. The plant life sort of starts drifting out. And the next thing Arturo turns around at you, his eyes welling up with tears. He's like, "What? Why did you knock me down?"
Come, Arturo, come. We have to get back. It'll be okay. And so he's 3. I'm probably big enough to kind of pick him up, right?
Definitely, yeah.
So I'll pick him up and kind of start to run back away. Before I upset the pool, was I able to see the full mark and what it looked like?
Yeah.
Or, okay, it wasn't blocked, so I kind of have that as thing stuck in my mind.
Will never forget that to your dying day. You'll never forget that design. It's burned in your memory. And I think that as you pick up, he's still kind of, his sobs are dying down, and he still is accusing you of tossing him in the pool. Mm-hmm. As you're going, hey, we got Sean back. And then as he is, as you're walking away, he's muttering something very quietly in his sobs in a language you don't. He's either talking gibberish or it's something you don't quite understand. But you spare a last look back at that pool with now it looks like, it's a pool in the fall with falling leaves scattered across it. It is. Oh, perfect. Yeah, no problem, Sean. And what then happens is the camera slowly pans up into the gray and rainy sky, and it pans down. And what we see is a darkened, blackened forest. And what we can see in white lettering on the screen as it comes up is "20 Olaroon 994 YK." And we see this slender man, making his way through this twisted blackened ruins of the of this forest, kind of looking down to be careful he doesn't stumble. The forest is incredibly overgrown. If you picture like the battle-strewn pictures of like World War I era forests that have been ravaged by some kind of massive conflict, that's what he's walking through. Some of the trees are splintered and broken, scorched by some unknown force. But this guy walks through this muddy water and up to this man who is sitting against a wall or against a tree, his head down, a shield resting against his side, a sword propped up against it. And as the first man approaches, we can hear heavy snoring. The standing man kind of shakes his head, and he kicks the boot of the man on the ground and says, "Rodrigo, I swear you could sleep anywhere." And Rodrigo looks up, and what we see is Rodrigo looking up at the face of Sovalam. And Sovalam, you, what do you call it? You are a slender half-elf man. What do you think what do we see here? Like, what is the face or the figure that's staring down at Rodrigo?
So he's been in war for a while.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean he's kind of dirty and his hair is like knotted up. I don't think he's had a bath in weeks. He just kind of lets the rain fall on him. He doesn't have a hood on, so he's just kind of like dripping down.
Where do you think? So, as a member, a dragon marked member of House Lyrindar, you will have the brand of the dragon mark somewhere on your body. That will kind of flare up with power when you draw on its power. The mark of the storm. Excuse me, the storm. Where do you think that is?
Do I choose it or?
Yeah, you can choose it. Absolutely.
No. I mean, in world, would he have chosen where to put it, or would it would naturally have appeared without his choice?
Naturally appeared. Yeah.
I'm gonna say it's like right in the center of his chest.
Okay, nice. Arc reactor style. Love it.
Yeah, they got Iron Man style.
Okay, so you've got that mark, and then Rodrigo. What does Rodrigo look like? And now grown to a man.
Are beards popular or no beards?
Sure.
Okay.
Whatever you like.
We're in the middle of war. We've been in war or like in the field for how long?
So you guys are actually part of basically like an elite scout unit as part of the Syrian Royal Army. You guys are sort of the specialists who kind of will scout out and like take army numbers, and that's actually going to be the mission that you're on right now.
Okay. And weather-wise, are we like in a rainy season?
Yeah.
Or okay.
It seems because of so much magics, they're one of the 5 nations. And we'll talk very briefly about what the last war is in a moment. But one of the 5 nations is a place called Onder, and they have very, very powerful magicians. And it seems like ever since, for the last 100 years, longer than any of you guys have been alive, any of your great grandfathers have been alive, the weather has been fucked because of the use of weather magics in the conflict.
Okay.
So it's overcast, rainy, not like torrential downpour, but coming down enough.
Okay. So he's in his armor, whatever that heavy armor is. I'm not sure what he's wearing right now. But on top of the armor, he has like a very heavy, maybe woolen cloak or something, like a very dark one that will cover the armor for stealth purposes, as well as be something that helps keep the rain off. Face-wise, it looks like he has kind of slightly unkempt curly hair that used to be well-groomed.
Yep.
It's like kind of, I had a haircut that was nice a month ago. And the same with his beard was like a well-groomed, like pointy one that is now just like all 10 o'clock shadow, like all the kind of unkempt.
Sure.
And, and so he'll open his eyes, and that's kind of looking.
So Savalom, you know that what you have been resting. You guys have been on a basically like a reconnoitering mission. There is this forest has been, like a lot of patches of land, it's turned over between the Syrian army and the Karnathi and the Brelanders and the Thrainites. So it's been turned back and forth between a bunch of different forces. It's effectively kind of like no man's land perpetually for the last however long. You guys, there was another scouting unit that was sent out here to just reconnoiter the area. They did not return, which makes you think that there is something out here. So maybe Karnathi. So what you guys have come out here now. There are different ways that you guys can track. Basically, they track the enemy out here. One of them is through your standard kind of mundane means, which your ally Dox is doing. Dox is an expert tracker, and he's terrific at being able to find markings, find numbers of parties and stuff like that, and spot ambushes. Where you come in is your use of your detect magic. Detect magic is, so in the game mechanic wise, you can use cantrips during the exploration mode, but what happens is you inevitably you exhaust yourself. if you keep casting it over and over and over again, rules as written, you can do that, but if you do it for, say, a 10-minute stretch where you're recasting that spell over and over again, the exertion will get to you and you'll get fatigued. So you've been doing that, and the reason you've been called in is because of the potential of the Carnathi. The intelligence that your army has received has been that the Carnathi are the ones who are going to be advancing on this area. In addition, you've heard that the Brelanders are advancing. This will certainly not be the first time that forces from more than 2 armies meet in battle. And it may represent one of those marriages of convenience where, for this particular month of this particular year, the Carnathi are working with the Brelanders, and then a month from now they may be at each other's throats, and one of those or both of them may be seeking Syrian allies. And what you know is that this is, regardless of whether it's the Brelanders or the Carnathi, the thing you're most concerned with is the Carnathi because of their use of necromantic magic in their forces. They have all sorts of ingenious and horrible weapons of war that have been dreamed up in the depths of their necro labs. And if they've got something like that out here, you guys need to get that so that you can be either assured that this is a sealed off point, or that you can get your scouts through to flank the oncoming Carnathi army. So you've been resting, Sovalam. You've just been because you've been the exhaustion of casting those spells. You decided to just take a quick 10-minute, 15-minute break, catch your breath, get a little bite to eat, and sure enough, Rodrigo fell asleep while he was doing that. You fortunately did not need to get some sleep, so you were able to keep your eyes out. And around now is when Dox has been off. He's not nearly been as exhausted, so he's been going out and trying to see if he can pick up any tracks out here. So Dox, this is where you come into the scene.
Yes.
So you come in and...
Can you hear me?
I can, yeah.
Oh, good. Just making sure. I'm questioning everything technical on my end.
Oh, you know what, guys? I'm a dummy. I just realized I've had you on the wrong map this whole time. This is the map that everyone's been seeing. What an idiot I am. Good
the GM's been enjoying
my map is dark.
Oh, hold up here. Yeah, now it's up. It was a forest there before, but now...
Yeah.
Oh, because I bet you got... No, I don't. Damn it. Oh, I wonder if I didn't give you a sight. Hold on here. Let's see here. So one of the frustrating things about Roll20 is that... it has sight. No, you should have that. Someone's excited. I'm up. Okay.
We're off to the zoo. So.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, can you guys see, if you go to the top left... Hello, Hound! Nice.
Chewie says hi.
Hi, Chewie. Can you guys see what's on the map right now, or what's on the screen right now on the top left?
Oh, yeah, I see Eberron.
Eberron.
Yeah, that's what you're going to see. There you go. Let me situate you guys.
Go.
Okay. Oh, I think Emmy heard. So, let me get you guys over here now, and we'll pick up for where you guys are actually in the screen here, and I'll get you guys where you need to be. Here we go. This is you guys. Boom, down here. Okay, and I'm going to hit reconnect one more time. I just lost Greg's camera. Let's see. Boom, there's me, Sean, and... You're not saying, Greg, you're still with us, right?
I can see Greg.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, yeah, I can't see Greg.
Yeah, let me refresh it.
Reconnect.
I'm going to go shut that door. 1 second.
Roll20 is really uncooperative sometimes. I'm sure you'll come back. Maybe if you hit refresh on the browser, that sometimes... Yeah. Oh, no, you're back. Never mind.
There we go.
Yeah, we're good. Okay.
No,
all right. So, Dox walks in. Now, Dox is a changeling, and one of the other kind of signature things about Eberron is there are a number of new races that were introduced, or ancestries as they call them in PF2, into the game, and these are hybrids of kind of classic D&D monsters. So there were shifters that were kind of like half werewolves or half lycanthropes. There's the changelings, which are kind of like descended from doppelgangers. So Sean, what does Doc's walk in like? Does he or she look like a changeling, which is what you see on the screen there? They've got kind of a white, featureless face and long white hair. They can, as an action, take the shape of someone else, but they do need to spend an action maintaining that.
I think Docs has been, and you said that we were that there was. I kind of had half an ear as I was troubleshooting. But you said I think that we were pursuing. We're having our eyes out for a certain race or people.
You are trying to right now. You are trying to reconnoiter this area and try and identify why. You've had one crew go missing, or one kind of scout crew go missing, and you have now what do you call it? While Sovalam has been resting and kind of like recovering from the constant casting or of maintaining of detect magic, you've been kind of okay, just you rest here. I'm gonna go scramble out, and let's see how much what you've got to learn. Sean, would you kindly give me a survival check? Let's see how well you were tracking these things.
All right.
15. Okay, so there's two different ways that you set DCs, difficulty classes, in Pathfinder 2. One of them is just, you can judge it by how skilled the character should be to be able to do something. So the way that there's not skill points in Pathfinder 2 anymore, there's levels of training: trained, expert, master, legendary. And you can kind of like intuitively figure out, okay, what would an expert know? What would a master know? Another way of setting out, and that's just a flat number. If you can also set by, if it's a contested roll, you're trying to like find someone's hidden tracks, you're trying to sneak past someone, then it's a DC based on either the target or the level of the thing. So it's a trap or whatever. So for this one, I think that 15 is probably it's actually probably not good enough, to be honest. But you will note that each of you guys has a green bar on there, on your token. The green bar is your hero points. So hero points are what you can spend to re-roll, and they're also a resource you use to not die if you are reduced to 0 hit points. So Docs, would you like to spend a hero point to re-roll that?
So what is? So I have one. What's our expectation on?
Expectation is you can normally, so the game rules as written suggest that you should be getting one on average per hour, and then in more intense situations, faster, and more laid back situations, you'll get them slower. I tend to hand out hero points about every 45 minutes, it seems.
Let's see. Spending my 1 hero point, I need better than a 15.
Yep. Also, if you make me laugh, that's always a hero point too. So.
It's not a great bet for my 1 hero point, but you taunted me into it. I'll do it.
Nice. Let's see here. Here we go.
All right, re-rolling. Nice survival. Oh, there we go.
Nice, much better. Okay. So, because you served as the guinea pig for the hero point demonstration, everybody gets a hero point.
Nice.
You max out at 3. You can't ever have more than 3 hero points, but they're there to be spent. This is one of the ways, if you're, Sean, if you're to kind of distinguish this between PF1, I think they've realized that, like, this is the way that heroes are different. Is you just need to be able to break the rules and re-roll sometimes. So they're pretty ubiquitous, and that's one of the significant ways you differ from, like, the Joe Schmoes on the street.
Okay.
So Docs, what you've done, you've actually managed to find the tracks of the part, of the first Siren scout force.
Yep.
And these are people you probably know. These are, I imagine that the reconnaissance kind of wing, they hang out together. So these may be friends, they may be rivals, but you at least have you're able to put a face and a name to these people.
And I think that Doc has been out here a while, and I think he's comfortable out here. He's not thrilled about the rain, but at the same time, he knows it makes him more stealthy.
Yep.
No one keeps as well of watch in the rain. No one wants to be out in the rain. And so from that standpoint, he's at home. He prefers the shadows. He prefers the forest where it's dark rather than the open plains.
Yeah.
And and he looks, his clothes are efficient and were relatively clean, but are well worn. And so now he's a bit wet and looks a bit bedraggled, but he's at ease out here in the shadows of the rain and the forest.
Okay. So what I'll say as well is, or as it says, refreshers, the sort of the connection between Dox and Savalom is that both of you were working as smugglers at some point, pre your involvement with the war. And it's Savalom, she is dead now, unfortunately, or he is dead, depending. I'm not really fussed one way or the other. But your former lover is Dox's sibling, and he or she died as a result of the war. And that may have been why you guys got involved in the war. I'll leave it to you to figure out, or for you two to figure out whether that's what prompted it, or whether you realized there was bigger matters at issue, or whatever. But that's how you guys kind of got together. So what do you say, Dox? Dox, you walk back up and you can see Rodrigo is slowly kind of getting himself up from the tree. Savalom appears to have been be well rested enough. What do you say?
Comrades, I have found tracks. I think we have the lead we've been waiting on.
Lead the way. If you're ready, Savalom.
Okay. So as you guys get up, let's quickly just do a little bit of info dump here. So the last war erupted after the death of King Geralt, when his children, the rulers of the Five Nations, couldn't agree on who should succeed him. Alliances rose and fell over the course of 100 years, but at various points each of the Five Nations turned against the others. This is where we find ourselves now. 100 years of warfare where everyone has turned against everyone else at one point or another. But you guys are standing for your nation, for beloved Seer. And this is a war that has absolutely no end in sight. No one has achieved a definitive enough victory at any point to be able to conclusively have taken over the others. Let me give you a quick handout here as well too. I was going to do it as a separate page, but I can do it as this too. Where is it here?
Are we currently in Seer, or
are you? Sorry.
Are we in Seer, or are we?
Yes. Yeah, you're in Seer, right near the border with Breland and with Thrain. So here you are, guys. This is a map. If you click on it, it'll open up. This is the map of Corvair at the time. You can see where Seer is, running from the far north there, down to the south. There's that place called Dargoon down there. That is a relatively new nation that emerged in the course of the war. You can see Thrain to the west. That's that religious fanatics. To the north is Karnath. The Talenta Plains to the east is full of dinosaur-riding halflings. To the south is a place called Valinar. That is a group of mercenary elves that came over, who then declared Valinar their ancestral home and never went home. And these used to be part, Eldine Reaches, Drome, Zalargo, Dargoon, these all used to Valinar. These all used to be part of the Five Nations. But over the course of 100 years of war, these other nations have broken out, and the parent nations have not had sufficient strength to put them back together. You are currently fighting right near the border. It'll be the south near... it's Dargoon right now, but I think it's listed here, but I think that still is actually Breland at this point. So there's Brelish forces near where the border of Seer and Thrain meet with Dargoon. That's where you guys are, right on the forefront of the war. So let's talk about the exploration mode, because that's where we're in right now. If we're not doing downtime, which is like days, we are doing, and we're not in combat, in encounter mode, then we're in the exploration mode. And the exploration mode is fairly loosey-goosey in terms of how long you can spend in it. But some of the actions, there are lots of skill uses you can do during this, including things like, repeating a spell, like what Sovalom you might want to do to avoid any kind of, Karnathi traps, any necrotic traps or stuff like that. It costs you nothing to bury a zombie and just wait for it to hear someone walk above. Your detect magic would likely see the necromantic aura around that. You can also, let's see here, you can try and hide. You can search, which is, you're effectively looking around. One of the neat things that PF2 does as well is it makes seeking, if you're trying to get information, like to make a perception roll, that's a specific action in this. So you spend time, like in older editions, can I make a perception check? Can I make an insight check? It's an action. We know it's seek. If you're trying to get information about something you're seeking, you can do that. I'm excited too.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. Sovalom, what, and then also what you, Docs, I think what you're probably going to be doing is tracking. That is a use of your survival skill if you want to keep following these. What you can also do is use Scout to kind of keep an eye out for enemies, and that will allow you to make get a bonus to your initiative roll if you get into an encounter. But what are you guys thinking? What is sort of the standard protocol for your detachment when you guys are scouting like this?
Well, if we're expecting the zombies buried under us, obviously Sovalom is detecting magic as much as he can.
Okay. What does it look like when he's casting detect magic?
I can imagine it is like, especially with the rain, is that every time he does it, you see this, like, the rain kind of pulses out from him a little bit as he's coming down.
Love it. Yeah. That's awesome. Okay, cool. So yeah, and that keeps with the whole storm, mark of the storm thing as well too. Okay, so you've got that out. Docs, what are you doing?
I picture Docs being point, out in front.
Yep.
Just out of eyesight of the other two, except for periodically showing myself to them, like, my face kind of peeks out behind a trunk, kind of checking back and checking in. And besides that, being out in front and being on alert for
sounds
and staying in shadows.
Okay, awesome. So you're going to keep trying, both, I guess, alternate between like keeping out for tracks and then keeping yourself hidden. What about Rodrigo? One of the things that you can do as well as Rodrigo is to defend, which is basically you've got your shield up, ready for whatever. But
yeah, that's what I was actually thinking. Now that we've seen tracks and we think that something's gonna come up soon, Docs is already searching or scouting or whichever one he's doing. So Rodrigo will take his shield up and make sure that nothing jumps out.
Yep.
And yeah, it's his benefit of raising your shield. Well, that doesn't really help everybody else though. He's already scouting or searching?
Docs is so you could search. You could just kind of keep your eyes out for for what's going on. Now, one of the other ways that this matters is that when you go, you don't have an initiative stat. Unless there's something else that applies, you use perception when you're transitioning from exploration into encounter. But if you've got another skill that might apply, like for instance, if Sovalom is using detect magic and something magical comes in, I might let him use Arcana as his initiative stat. Rodrigo, you might use perception because you're keeping your eye out. Docs might use stealth if it happened to be during his sneaky time, or survival if it happens to be during, while he was tracking someone. So we kind of figure out.
It looks like the only two things that are useful for me is either defend or search.
Okay.
So, I think that he's casual enough about the defense right now that he'll do search instead.
Okay.
So I'll do search.
Awesome. Okay. So you guys.
Kevin, can I tell how fresh the tracks are?
You can. These are within the day. They're beginning to pool up. Like the tracks you're finding are pooling up with water at this point. So you don't doubt that they'll be lost. But the few tracks you saw, I think that the party that you're pursuing included a dwarven, like a dwarven warrior, a warforged archer, and a what would he be? Oh, an elven, not an elven. It would be a human champion, a follower, basically. Like a champion is the PF2 version of a paladin. So you know that these guys were off, searching. So it's probably either the dwarf or the paladin's footprints that you could see, and you definitely recognize it as these are clearly their tracks.
And how long have they been missing?
They didn't. It's been a day.
Right.
Yeah. So, and you guys know from long and harsh experience that it's one of two things. They're either dead or they've
Waylaid.
Yeah, they've left. I mean, and they wouldn't abandon. So it's obviously something bad.
Mm-hmm.
As you guys keep following the tracks, it actually transitions into this broken and burned section of the wood as well. That seems to be more... It is a clear and brutal... a bit of evidence of how the land itself has been affected by this conflict. And let's do this here.
How dense is the foliage?
The foliage at this point is still fairly overgrown, but it's like that, thick bushes in the wintertime kind of thing. There's no greenery left on them. It's just bare, dry things twisting together. And as you're making your way along there as well, Docs, you can see that the tracks continue on. You guys travel for about another maybe 20 minutes until you're getting deeper and deeper into these woods. You are, of course, mindful of the possibility of ambush. It won't be the first time that you've had one of the adversary forces kind of jump in on you. And you guys are around here. Docs, you're, studying the ground and then looking out to try and spot any any of your allies. Rodrigo.
As the environment's changed, does it seem like that this is more of a nefarious area of the forest?
A more
nefarious, more
yeah,
suspicious.
It could be, but it's also this is the what the war has done. The last it's not called the last war; it's called the war at this point. The war has been going on for 100 years. This is what 100 years of conflict does to the natural landscape. It's just these twisted. They have managed to survive, it seems, but you're not certain how.
They're not. Are they burnt out, or is it just like disease-looking trees?
It looks scorched.
Okay, so
yeah,
all right.
As if there was some massive conflagration that kind of ran its way through here. And Docs, you can see over around here there is a fallen form.
I stop and peer back to my comrades and put my finger to my lips and motion for them to catch up to me.
Okay.
And when they arrive, I whisper, "We have a fallen form up ahead to the right."
Is it within range? Is it within 30 feet?
It is within, let's see here, measure. It's a little bit further.
Shall we get closer, Sabalon?
Yeah, it's just out of range.
Maybe give a very careful at this time look around, Kevin, looking for ambushes or
For
any
sure.
sign of movement.
So as you're looking around, Docs, you see something so unusual. And up in the tree to your right, at first you think it's just like, it's a berry, it's something. What you see is an eyeball with yellowed iris that has like sickening spider legs sticking out from underneath to prop it up, and these diaphanous dragonfly-like wings behind. And the eye kind of like, it seems as if it's staring at you, and then it takes off and flies off. Do you have any training in occultism?
No, I'm
No.
untrained.
So, as is the case with you, Docs has no earthly idea what the fuck that was. Let me quickly make a... So one of the things that PF2 incorporates as well, too, is the idea of secret roles. So they're trying to keep the drama up. Rodrigo, you hear this. Sound of some large insect moving its way down towards here. I'll let you make a quick... Since you were searching... hold on, here we go. Boom. Down this direction here. Why don't you give me a perception check, please? Let's see if you can spot this thing. You know, it'll be a little tricky, but... Whoa! Yeah, yeah. So you see this thing flitting off. Do you have any training in occultism?
0.
0, okay. So again, what the fuck is that you're looking at?
Is
And you
this
see
a creature?
trailing behind the eyeball, like some kind of, what do you call it? Like a thorax and abdomen for a dragonfly. There's this disgusting, dried and curled optic nerve.
Is it flying away from us?
Flying to the south of where you guys are, yeah.
Is it going so fast that like Sablon would be able to like destroy it if I pointed it out?
You might, yeah, if you point it out, he might be able to. It's only moving at about maybe 20 feet. You'd certainly be able to, like, look over there. And actually,
we've never seen anything like this before, but
No.
we're familiar that the Karnathi have undead magics that are...
definitely, yep.
So I pointed out to Sablon and I go, destroy that if you can.
Excellent. Okay, so you, what you've done is you've pointed something out, and that is actually an action. Let me see here, which was...
Seek one?
I can't remember if it, Oh, you know, yeah, what it does is it means... So, there's different ways of tracking kind of like stealth in the game. There's unseen, there's unperceived, and then there's, like, you know, seen. So by pointing it out, Savalom, why don't you give me a perception roll? Let's see if you can see what Rodrigo is trying to point out to you.
Sorry, it's for me?
Yeah. Oh, yes, please. Yeah.
Sorry. I was reading which spell to use to attack it.
No problem.
What do you want to roll?
Perception, please. We're seeing if Savalom spotted this flying eye thing. Rodrigo's trying to point it out to you.
Hey.
Nice! Nice! So yeah, you can definitely spot this thing. It's about maybe 30 feet down this direction here. And it's exactly as described. It's this eyeball with little insectoid limbs hanging from the bottom, buzzing dragonfly-type wings with a body that seems to be made with a dried and scabbed-over optic nerve.
And he's within 30 feet.
Yeah.
All right, then. And so focus points, we can do the thing where we can regain the focus for 10 minutes.
Yes. Yeah.
Then I will, just using my innate magic within myself, I just fling out, I guess a lightning.
Yeah.
Elemental toss at him.
Okay. So there's a flash of light from your chest as well, too. That is good enough. So this thing is consumed. And as it's consumed, you hear from somewhere off to the south this enormous howl. And it carries through. What are you guys going to do?
With dramatic irony, Dox whispers back, "It appears we're not alone."
You get a hero point. All right. So, Dox has pointed out that there is a fallen form up here too, and it appears to be about man-size, and it's face down in the ground, and it is wearing, like military-issued boots. What would you guys like to do?
I'm going to approach it carefully with stealth.
Okay. Why don't you give me a stealth check, please? Oh, nat 20.
Yeah.
Nice.
That creepy creature has flipped Dox's switch into business mode.
Nice. So you make your way carefully over, and you're in fact even like if you wish to be, you're unseen by Rodrigo and Savalon as well too. As soon as you step into the bushes, you're so incredibly stealthy.
I think right after my comment, I just disappear into the bush.
Yeah. Okay. So Savalon has gone missing. While he is off to inspect, Rodrigo and Savalon, what are you doing?
I'm gonna tell Rodrigo. No, sorry. I'm gonna tell Savalon. Stay behind me. If it's coming, if it's in the south, it knows we're here. It's gonna come. My sword and shield and be ready for that. So I guess if we're still in exploration mode, that's defend.
Okay. So you get your shield up. Yeah.
Yeah. And say, step behind me, and let's hide behind this tree if we can. To, say.
I said, yeah, but I got to get a little bit closer if I want to be able to check for any magics emanating from it. Maybe up to.
So you want to move forward behind me? Oh, closer to the man, to the fallen man.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's hide behind the tree up there then, and just keep a lookout.
Okay. Okay.
I think that has to be 30 feet.
So you move. Yeah, that's within 30 feet now.
Why don't we move those so that you're behind, like we're behind one of the trees or something, so that from the south.
I was gonna, but then that weird thing came out of it, so I thought I'd stay away from the trees.
Ah, okay. All right. I'll step on this side of you to be kind of blocking you.
Excellent. Okay. So Rodrigo's got his shield up, his sword out, and he's looking to the south. And Savalom, you focusing, and there's that pulse out where the rain is kind of pushed away. There is no magic coming from there. But would you kindly give me an Arcana check? Thanks, Chuck. Nat 20 as well. Amazing.
Wow.
Holy smokes.
We can't use them all. We gotta save some of these.
Well, I should have told you, I'm a notoriously bad roller, like Will Wheaton level like that. So it's like I just use my good game.
Except at Pathfinder, maybe this is the great exception.
Maybe this is my new game. I actually can roll.
So you reach out with your senses and you feel nothing there. Dox, you've made your way very quickly over towards this. The body's right about here, at the foot of this tree. And you're about to get there, and you see nothing on the ground, but Savalom, your eyes trace up, and maybe there's some like lightning, placing out from your eyes as you look up, and you can see there is a sickening black blot that is a manifestation of necrotic power. And you blink for a moment and to sort of shift, between magical senses, regular senses, and you can see another one of those hideous eye things is lurking in the trees above Dox.
Does it see Dox?
Its kind of central eye thing is kind of like, looking down in his direction. Does not seem to be focused on you.
I guess I shot out above you.
Okay. At that point, you hear again Rodrigo from the south, closer now.
Can I search or do a perception to see if I can see the creature at all?
Absolutely, yeah. Go ahead. Oh, amazing. So through the bushes, you can picture in the film version of this, first what we see is this like form smashing through these old broken trees, and then as it gets closer, it kind of crashes through into a clearing, and you do get a clear view of this. I'll put the token on for us in a moment here. Now this image doesn't quite capture it, but I'll tell you how it differs in a moment here. This, scrambling along like some loping... closest is like a chimp in motion, but this thing is the size of a charging draft horse. This is what you see. However, in place of 2 eyes, the entire face is these sickening either giant empty holes, or they are these yellowed eyes, as if it's like a segmented insect thing. And you see one of those flying, and it sicks itself back into its head. This thing, let me put him on the map here, comes crashing through down in the south. And what I will do as well, I found this to be kind of helpful in with the other games, is I'm going to create a bar. You can't see the numbers on them, but you'll see as the health goes down. So that'll help you give you a sense of kind of like what numbers mean in terms of the damage you're doing. Okay, so let me quickly set that up. And... oh, you know what I'll do? Hold on, hold on. Oh, we need to change the music too, because shit is getting real.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right, let's do that. Yeah, let's do that. Okay.
Like 115, 120 feet away.
Yeah, 120.
All right, so what I'd like you guys to do is, if you could first click on your token, and then click on whatever you're using for initiative, whether it's perception, whether it's whatever. If you see on the perception for the initiative thing, you can click it down. There's a drop-down menu, so you can choose which you want to use there. And I'll add the turn for this thing as well. Let me open up the turn tracker. Nice. Okay, let's see what this thing got. Oh, not great. Okay. All right. So, then, first things. Okay, so that's everyone's initiative. You have your shield up already, Rodrigo, because you were prepared for this. All right, so this thing goes first. You guys are far too far away. It wants to get closer. So it... let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, each second diagonal movement is double. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is charging towards you, lumbering along, tearing up the ground as it goes. And then, Dox, you think you spot... actually, Dox, give me a perception check, will you?
Okay.
Awesome. Okay, what you see is something zips past your face, and you kind of whoa, and you spot it's one of those that thing that I described. The other guy saw the eye with the thing. Yep. It flies over to where that body is, and then you hear the sickening wet sound as it embeds the back end of its body into the skull of the fallen form, and that fallen form begins to twist. And Rodrigo, you can see as this thing is coming towards you, like scattering butterflies, its eyes shoot out and begin zipping off into the forest around you.
So this
Only
one still
slightly
had both
horrified.
eyes.
Can you say that again?
This one still had both of its eyes because we just killed an eye.
It has many eyes. So the
many
picture,
more than two.
yeah. Yeah, that's what I was hoping. That it was only going to have one eye, but no, it has a bunch of them.
Do I need a fear check with the whole embedding into the back of the head thing?
This is unfortunately not a terribly new thing for the Karnathi.
Ah.
This is, the amount of horrible mixture of creativity and evil knowledge that their necro labs and the necromancers who work in there is insidious. Where, boom, and there's our zomboid. Okay, Savalon, you are up next. Let me, while you're making your decision.
Am I aware of what's happened behind me?
I don't know if you are just yet.
Okay.
Let's see here. This one. There we go. There's an appropriate militaristic thing. Sorry, Sabalum. So you have 3 actions.
Yeah.
You can move your speed as an action. You can use the actions to cast spells. If you want to seek, you would need to gather information. That is an action as well.
Is that zombie still prone? Or
Yes, it is. Yeah. It's here. I'll put purple on it for prone. Boom. So, what are you thinking?
All right, I'm gonna. I'll use the cantrip electric arc. I'll use the reach. So I guess it's going to take all 3 of my actions.
Oh, okay, cool. You're meta magic.
Yes, the meta magic reach.
Yeah.
To attack the creature that I'm actually aware of at this point.
Okay, the big one. Awesome.
Yeah.
Go ahead and click on it. It should make all the rolls work for you. Let's see here. Nice. Whoa. Excellent. Okay, so saving throw is a DC 19. Okay, that is tricky for this thing. So this thing lumbers forward. Your eyes glaze. Whoa, man. Terrible. Terrible.
Crit fail?
Let's see. 16. Not a crit fail, but not great. So you, what happens is you gesture out.
Yeah, I kind of step around from Rodrigo, and then I don't know. They come out of my eyes. Do that.
Yeah.
And they just glare at them, and it.
Nice. You know what I'll let you do? Because it targets up to 2 creatures, it actually arcs through some of those eyeballs. And you hear the horrible pop of that necrotic aqueous humor cooking off. And here is, boom, the hit. All right, so those are your 3 actions. Docs, what are you doing? 3 actions.
Docs is going to quick draw and quickly step forward to skewer this undead creature still prone and therefore possibly disadvantaged.
So what it'll have then is PF2 deals away with a lot of the kind of situational modifier stuff. Because it's prone, it's going to be flat-footed, which means its AC is going to be 2 lower. So you step in, go ahead, and now past experience with the Karnathi forces, because you fought these things. You know that against an intact body like this, slashing weapons can be particularly effective, whereas something that is a more skeletonized or skeletonized form, something that's more desiccated, bludgeoning weapons is what you want to use because it's hard to otherwise damage them.
And so I'm thinking that slashing is better for this?
Against this. This seems to be an intact form. This is actually what seems to be staggering up is Ruggan the Dwarf, one of your old companions from the lost scouting party.
So rapier is not the best choice.
Rapier does piercing?
Right.
No. So dagger has something, it can do piercing or slashing.
Okay. Yeah. So, well, knowing that, then he will have drawn his dagger then.
Okay.
And so with quick draw, I think he draws and strikes with the same action.
Yes. So it'll be one action to move over. It'll be one action to quick draw and strike, and then you'll have. So make your attack roll, and let's see how that goes.
All right. Let's see here.
Ugh.
I think the visage of my past comrade in undead form is clearly shaking me. I mean, I'm essentially stabbing my friend.
Oh yeah.
So it's caused me to flinch.
So
you could use your hero point too.
You are sitting on 2 hero points. That's right.
Oh, yes. I think I must.
Okay.
All right.
Spin.
Try it again.
Here it comes. An 11.
It's simply too much. Looking
You know
at
what?
my
The
friend's face.
11 is actually, because of its prone, and because this thing it's just a crudely risen corpse. It's actually good enough to hit.
All right.
And now you'll see that your weapon, your dagger, has a quality called versatile on there. That's what you're able to do, either piercing, what it normally does, or slashing. So because that's slashing, which is 5 points of damage, so 5 points of slashing. Check this out. Boom. Big hit on him.
Is Doc a rogue?
What's that?
He is a rogue, yeah.
Does that mean he would get sneak attack damage?
He would, yes, because it's flat-footed. Yeah,
True.
absolutely.
Oh yes.
So click on your backstab ability, or just give me a d6 roll. I think your backstab damage is d6. 3 more, okay?
Okay. Good call.
Okay. Excellent. Now, if you choose to make one more attack, the way it works with multi-attacks in this is every attack you make in the same round, the second one takes -5 to hit, the next one takes -10. However, if you're using a weapon that has the agile quality, it reduces it by 1, so it's only -4 for your next attack.
We'll go again with the same weapon, I guess, since this is my slashing choice.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
I gotta check and see. I can't remember if backstab is... Whoa! That's actually a critical hit. You beat that by 10.
Okay.
So that is a crit, which means you do double damage. And I'm just going to see if backstab is...
So we use the critical damage number?
So sneak attack... Yes, we use a critical damage number.
Nice.
Instead.
Looks like I found my footing in ending this unholy creature, despite it being my friend.
Roll your sneak attack damage again.
Right.
I don't see it. I mean, if on closer inspection, on the at least on the printout from Hero Lab doesn't do that. So 17. So what does it look like as you sever this thing and prevent it from rising?
I think the first two, I just can't get myself to stab my dwarven drinking buddy of past years. So I almost really now I get in close and I avert my eyes and I just send my dagger through its throat, almost severing its head, without really having to stare at it.
And it goes down, and you hear the sickening pop as that eyeball that was in him is destroyed.
And
Okay.
I say sorry, Durban, as it plops to the ground,
Nice.
or whatever its name was.
Yeah.
His dwarf's name.
Rodrigo, you're up next. What are you doing?
All right, I got a quick one. So 2 actions to ready to hit this creature when it gets in range,
Yeah.
and then do you have to decide beforehand that you want to use the power attack? Because I'm going to do a power attack.
So power attack is a 2-action.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. So you can't.
Okay.
But it's a good opportunity to point it out. Yeah, because power attack is a 2-action ability, you can't actually ready the power attack.
That's right. Okay. Well, then I will just ready to strike it with my my broadsword. Right.
Okay.
Broadsword, I think.
Yeah.
And I will also raise bastard sword. That's what it is. And then I will raise my shield.
Awesome. So you grip your shield, you bring your sword back, ready to meet this thing's charge. All right. So this thing's turn. Docs, you don't need to make a what do you call it? Check for this, but you hear a that same sickening wet sound from elsewhere in the bushes. I'll make sure I put a. There we go, for Ruggin. And then this thing. It comes in, ba-boom, 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 and it's that sickening, like, hole or wound-filled face as it charges in. It screeches, and I need Sovalam and Rodrigo to please give me will saves.
Will saves.
This is a fear effect, so I think, Rodrigo, you get a bonus to
2,
your
I
save.
believe.
Yes, I
Plus
think
2
that's
for
right.
bravery.
Yeah.
So I'll just add 2 to this roll.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, you critically succeed against it. Sovalam. Do you want to spend a hero point and reroll? Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Also critically succeed. This is not. If this is the worst the Carnathi have to throw against you, this is nothing. Nothing compared to the horrors you've been through before. Now that it's in range, Rodrigo, you can do an interrupt to attack.
Mm-hmm.
20!
Wow.
Oh, incredible!
This
Although
is
your
not how
fucking
roll
crit
20
damage,
usually treats me, so
the crit
I
damage is
appreciate
less
it.
than the normal.
That's funny. Wait, what?
Yeah, because it just the normal damage was a 7 plus 4 crit damage.
So 1 plus 4 times 2? Oh,
Yeah, it's
1
not
plus
actually
4 oh yeah, because 10. Yeah. Oh, that's.
that doesn't make any sense.
Oh shit. You know what? I'll let you I'll let you do the double of the normal damage. That seems unfair for to waste a nat 20. This isn't even just like a normal crit hit. It's a nat 20 hit. So
Yeah.
22 points of damage.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah! And this thing then comes crashing into you, and it's, let's see that nasty fanged mouth again too. Oof. Whoop. Ooh. That's what comes crashing in. What is your AC?
With the raised shield, it should be 23, I believe.
23. It just barely beats you. And slams in, and those jaws come down. You take 8 points of piercing damage.
I'm gonna... Wait, no, I can't. I already used my reaction, so I can't.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you did. Shit.
Alright.
Okay.
Alright, well, 8 points.
Just means that you've got your... so if you click on your token and then hit on the red -8 and then enter... Oh, perfect. There you go. Never mind. I don't need to tell you nothing. Alright, so those eyes have gone out. The hunter has slammed into you. We are back to Sovalam. What are you doing?
He's closer. I will. We'll use Yeah, I'll use Burning Hands at a second. Does it automatically heighten spells, or I have to heighten it?
No, you... So, Okay, so here's the way it works for sorcerers is a bit weird, and I didn't do this in yours. You can pick one spell from each of the levels you can cast that you can freely go like heighten up and down. The other ones you have to pick them at higher level. Like you'll notice you've got a heal at level 1 and a heal at level 2.
Yeah.
The reason is because I picked those as separate spells for you, but you can pick a spell for each, like a level 1 spell, a level 2 spell that you can freely heighten.
Okay. Well,
Or cast at lower level, you know, if it's a second level spell. So we can say that Burning Hands is one of those. Though it's a cone, so you might want to.
Yeah. Can you get it without burning me?
Oh yeah, no, I was. So I will do a.
This is one of the reasons why I'm really, really enjoying PF2 is because I think the action economy decisions at the table are so interesting.
Yeah. The 3 actions, no doubt, add quite a bit.
Oh.
Are we in difficult terrain right now with the trees?
No, no. Unless you're you could conceivably, if you're trying to move through some of the bigger trees, then yeah, and like those craggy areas, those are probably difficult terrain. But moving underneath these things, no.
I'm gonna take a 5-foot step.
Okay. So that's actually an action called a step. Now there's a stride, which is moving up to your speed, and there's a step which does not draw reactions.
Yeah, I'll do the step.
Okay.
And then from there, I will use Rodrigo as my shield, and I will shoot Burning Hands.
Nice. All right. Go ahead and click on Burning Hands, and we'll just double the damage. I think it does. Let's see here. What is? Oh, I didn't put the heightening thing in because I'm a dummy. Let's see here.
It's an additional 2d6.
Oh, nice. Okay, so go ahead and roll an extra 2d6, and let me make a save for this guy. Okay, reflex is not this thing's forte.
Additional 10. So.
Okay, so 16. So actually, he failed, but not a crit fail. So that is holy shit, 22 damage. So
no, 15.
Yeah, with 15 halved.
Oh right, shit, because you rolled 5 for it. Sorry, 15 damage.
Yeah, 5.
Look at you, honest players. Jeez. All right. Okay, so yeah, lightning. What does it look like, Sovalam, as the lightning kind of fills this cone?
All right, so I've got like one hand, Rodrigo on one side, acting like my shield.
Yep. I think Greg froze up. And
yeah.
Did he freeze up for you guys too?
Yeah, he's frozen.
Okay, we'll give it a second. I'm sure he'll be back. Is he in the hangout? Let's see. Yep, he's still in the hangout. It was such an impressive spell. It broke the internet. Okay. So we'll let Greg fill in the description of that afterwards. Next up will be docks.
I am going to. They seem to be equidistant.
Yeah.
Can I? So I assume these are once again past comrades.
It seems as if they are. They do seem to be intact bodies. These two.
Which would be my choice for the lesser warrior?
It's not. I think past experience with the Karnathi tells you that these things are unlikely to have the skills of their fallen. If they're just being animated through this kind of crude one-shot, necromantic power, it's unlikely that they still have any of their personality or skills or anything like that.
Yep, gotcha. I am going to stride to this foe here for my first action.
Yeah.
And then I am going to feint. Attempt to feint.
He's already flat-footed.
Oh, I thought the last one was flat-footed because they were prone. Is this one
These ones are
flat-footed?
prone too. Yeah, they have yet to stand. They're
Got it.
trembling and trying to get up, but not
Got it.
not quite risen
Okay.
yet.
Well, in that case, then yes, basically a sneak attack then in essence.
Okay. Go ahead, make an attack roll.
All right.
Oh, jeez. Nat 1 again.
Once again, I'm struck by I hesitate, flinching at this past drinking partner.
Oh, man. You still have one more action. It would be a -4 to hit if you're doing another one.
I think. And how disadvantaged is a piercing weapon against them?
What it just means is that it is less likely to do significant damage. Mechanically, what it means is either they may have resistance, which means it reduces the damage they take, or certain things may be vulnerable and take more damage from a certain kind of attack.
Gotcha. Because I have a 2-weapon attack, but the other one is a piercing weapon.
Yeah.
I'll just attack again. Attack with the dagger.
With the dagger, okay, slash again. Here we go. Whoa! Another critical hit.
Even with the -4?
Even with the -4.
Okay.
Oh, no, sorry, it's not with the -4. You're right. Okay, so it's -3. Okay. All right, so you slash this thing.
Yep.
The first one is unfortunately does not do much. Second, the follow-up definitely does damage to this thing.
Okay.
All right, next up is Rodrigo.
Don't forget the sneak attack.
Oh, right,
good
yeah,
point.
sneak attack damage.
What kind of rogue am I? Good point. Oh, jeez.
Okay.
Better enough.
True.
All right. So Rodrigo sees this thing looking mighty hurt from the initial strike, and will put a lot of power into his first attack.
Here it comes.
Try to slash it down. I'm going to use my hero point to.
Sounds
roll
good.
that again.
Okay.
There you go.
Nice! Holy shit, and max damage. Good God. So, that is, so you sever one of this thing's limbs with this massive stroke. It's hanging on by the fibrous kind of material that makes up its what would pass for a wing, but it howls in pain and kind of crawls back, and you can hear this kind of weird trilling sound from all throughout the forest where those eyes are hovering.
And I will, after chopping its leg off, I point to my eyes, and I point out to all its eyes, and I raise my shield.
You have a hero point for that. All right. Greg, can you hear us again?
I see his house.
Yeah, I
But
see.
not him.
Let's see. Let me try refreshing here.
Oh.
Connect. Oh, I might need to post the link to the. Oh, I see Greg again. Yeah,
Do you hear me?
I
Yep.
can. Yeah, we can hear you now.
I blanked out, so then I moved rooms.
Okay. Okay. So sorry, you were giving a description of the unleashing the burning hands.
Yeah, I said it's not so much flame as it was just like an intense heat that just like blasts out and it warps the air, and then the rain is like sizzling off as it hits them.
Awesome. I have a audio cue ready for you.
Nice.
He is very
very
close to death.
inspired.
Okay, and then as a follow-up to that, once the light subsides, that's when Rodrigo has just severed one of this thing's legs.
Ooh.
And it comes to its turn. Okay, now it howls. It brings that giant set of jaws down on Rodrigo again, or it tries to at least. Ooh. That is a 20. Nope, that's a 33.
Oh, that is a crit.
Crit. Okay. So now is when. Let's see here. Do you want to get your shield in the way?
Oh, yeah. I'm definitely going to use the shield block.
Okay. So this is, it is 22 points of damage.
So 17, effectively.
Okay.
And then I think my shield's broken then.
What's your shield's hit points? The
My
blue
shield's hit
bar
points
is your...
20. So
Okay, so-
half of that would be...
Yeah, I think half it, so I think it is broken. So
Yeah,
all that
it-
means is you just can't use it. It's not shattered or anything. It's just... so as that jaw comes down, it splinters your shield, the strap breaks, and it falls off of your arm. And you're hit. That is its first attack. Its second attack is to try and sweep your legs out from under you. What is your reflex save?
Oh. I got a +8.
+8, okay. So it's an 18 it needs. That is not good enough. So it batters at your legs with its last remaining limb, and you are easily able to keep your feet. As its last action... Actually, I guess it's going to have to just try and claw again. It's desperate to try and knock you down. Not good enough. So it tries to claw at you again, and again, in the muddy, earth underneath you, you just plant those feet down, and you do not move. Savalom, your turn. What are you doing?
All right. So they both look like they're about dead. Well, no, I guess his bar is like half.
Yeah, I'm still kicking.
Yeah, Rodrigo is pretty messed up by that attack. The Hunter is likewise pretty fucked up.
I'm gonna step forward and do shocking grasp on him.
Nice.
I'll do it at level 1. Well, God, I'm gonna watch him. I'm gonna roll 2 ones.
Gary? Holy shit! Awesome hit. So what does it look like as this thing is completely consumed by your lightning?
So as I step over him, I step down, and you see my chest like light up, and that lightning just circles down my arm and just like electrocutes him. Oh yeah, and then it cries, his skin's burning, and
Nice. And again, this crash of thunder afterwards, and where these things have been staggering and trying to get to their feet. Oh, that stays up. Docks. These things drop to the ground. You hear the soft popping of each of those necrotic eyes in the back.
Mm-hmm.
And your fellows find their rest again.
I will close the eyes of the one I am near
Okay,
in a solemn, respectful gesture.
absolutely. So, once this flurry of violence is over, you guys find yourself standing in the rain, panting heavily. Rodrigo, you're a little beaten up and battered, but you think like with a good bandage or two, you think you'll be okay. What are you guys thinking?
as I'm standing up, I turn to Rodrigo and I say, "Do those wounds require healing?"
Save your magic. I will try to bandage myself first to see how that's going, if we have the time to do that.
Okay. If you take, so it'll be 10 minutes to reach the, what do you call it? 10 minutes to treat wounds, but also 10 minutes you could refocus, Savalom, and get your focus
Yeah, he's
point.
going to treat his wounds for 10, and then I'll take the few minutes to refocus.
Okay.
Get
And
my-
Doc, while we're doing that, do you want to investigate the bodies to see if there's anything we can find about it?
Yes, good idea.
Okay. So, Rodrigo, why don't you kindly give me a medicine check for your treat wounds? Docs, are you trained in medicine? I can't remember.
Medicine. I don't think so. I got a plus proficiency is
Yeah.
5.
Yeah, you're trained.
Okay. Cool.
Go ahead and give me a medicine roll. See if we can suss out let's kill him.
There you go.
Nice. Okay, Rodrigo. Oh, you're so close to a crit there, too. So, Rodrigo, you heal 2d8 damage. And, Docs, what you can tell from the nature of the injuries, given what this creature has, your allies were killed by this thing. They were torn apart, set upon by this thing and torn apart. You know, whoopsies. Whoa!
So I can see these. I noticed these same type of wounds on the undead.
Yes, the risen forms of your colleagues, like Ruggan's whole, like his whole abdomen has been torn out, and you can tell from the shape of this thing's massive teeth that's likely what did. The champion, her throat has been severed, like from here down. There's a massive rent that is likely from one of those massive claws from the hunter. This is typical of Carnathi forces. They'll release some horrible creature like this into a region and just use that to sort of seal off the advance.
They work alone?
Yes. Yeah. Past experience with these suggests that this thing, now that this is done, it'll be safe for the recon units to go through and try and flank the oncoming Carnathi. So it's just a matter of getting back to camp and reporting in what's happened with your allies. You'll likely want to bring the bodies back as well, because the sad reality is those would be more fodder for the Carnathi forces too.
Indeed. Their families might want their possessions.
Are we going to be able to drag them back?
Yeah, I think that it sort of is a really unfortunate standard course here, where you either have to bury these things or dispose of the bodies in such a way as the Carnathi can't make use of the raw materials, or you drag them back yourselves. So fortunately, you do have more than enough. Nice, 13 points back. You got more than enough materials here to make the like the travois or travois to drag the bodies back, and yeah.
What would be most respectful? I can think of burying. Burning them is another possibility that comes to mind, though the rain may make that difficult, and of course dragging them back. What would be more culturally appropriate?
Well, burning them, I think there's a military concern there too. If you're burning them, that is an indication that there's something in the woods, and that might defeat the purpose of the flanking forces.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
He said that we could drag the bodies back, right?
Yep.
You're saying that we have the means. Yeah, we should do that.
Okay.
Okay. Then, having defeated such a fearsome necrotic foe, everyone gets a hero point. So, turning back to the what we'll cut to is you guys making your way back into camp, and the encampment here is a massive, sprawling army. This is one of your main forward bases, and you see tons of soldiers flying the Crimson Banner of Seer. There's a bunch of dirty, like, campaigning tents that are set up. There's some massive, arcane weapons of war or engines of war crafted by the clever magical engineers of House, not Denier, it's House, gosh, I can't remember. It's another one of the crafting houses. And you wind your way through this, you pass, tons of weary faces that you recognize, soldiers that, like yourselves, started young and have been fighting for years at this point. And you reach the point where the area where your commander is. You guys have left the body with the infirmary, so they will make appropriate dispose of the bodies in the appropriate manner. You've salvaged, I think, maybe some, like, I'm trying to think if you guys have. Does anyone have disposable arrows or javelins or anything like that? Crossbows.
Javelin.
So maybe you grabbed a couple javelins from one of the fallen bodies, just so they're not going to use it, so you might as well make use of this stuff. So you walk in your commanding officer's kind of tent, and they're studying some kind of map, and they look up at you guys and say, back then. And the commanding officer is a human who is probably part of the Syrian aristocracy as well, but this guy seems to be one of the good ones, as it were. At least that's as far as you're concerned, Rodrigo. And I think that in the film version of this, he's played by like an old Kurt Russell. He's got a big, campaign beard, and he looks up. You're back.
Mm-hmm. Would there have been any value of bringing the head of the creature back for studying or anything? Or is there just so many enemies that it's not working?
Your description. So here's another interesting thing about the Sirens. Every Siren pursues some artistic endeavor, whether that's painting, whether that's drawing, whether that's poetry, singing, whatever. Do you think one of your guys might be an artist? Because that could be why you're part of the unit. You could bring back a clear, detailed, like anatomical sketch of this thing.
I think slow. Yeah, that sounds like something Sophilon would be.
Okay. So you bring it back and you open up your leather-bound kind of like sketch, thing, and he looks. God, that's what was out there.
It is darkness out there.
It was able to send its eyes out of its body and raise the dead with them. It was horrifying.
It's always something. When you think you've seen the worst from them, the goddamn Carns. It's done, though?
We destroyed it.
And Ruggin Squad.
They unfortunately were killed and turned, but they have been brought back for proper burial.
At least the bodies are back and we won't be facing them. Good work. The way is clear then I'll pass that along. I'm glad you're back as well. There's something else that he asked that I didn't tell you, but 3 weeks ago, your brother transferred to our unit. Arturo. He's done, from what I've heard from the 6th Army, he's been doing fantastic work over there, and he was quite clear he didn't want you to know.
Sounds like him.
But we've had a development. He took his squad, and he takes out this map and kind of rolls it out in front of you. He says, this is where we are now. Over here, and he kind of gestures to where you were, this is where the flanking forces will be coming through. We expect ourselves to hit the Carns on the side, and we've got a force of 1,000 Warforged. It's going to plow through them like a hammer through ceramics. But here, and he gestures at another point that you can tell is a watchtower. This thing's been here for I don't know how long, but if the Carns have anyone up there, they're going to see us coming, and they'll be able to respond before we can get the flankers in position. So I sent Arturo to secure that. He was to have word back to us yesterday. I've still not heard anything. I know you just got back, but he kind of leaves it unsaid for whether you're able to get back out again.
Rodrigo clenches his fists and kind of slams the table. He takes a deep breath and he's like, God, Arturo. All right. I have to go. I can't leave him there. How?
If there was anyone else, but if I was in your shoes, I wouldn't want anyone else going.
I need a new shield. But can Sabalam and Docs, are you able to join me? Or can you get ready to go as soon as possible?
I put a hand on Rodrigo's shoulder and I said, I'm ready now.
Now, do you think that, I mean, you guys seem to have known each other quite well. I'll leave it to you guys. Did you know that his brother was also involved in the war? Would Rodrigo have let that out?
Did Rodrigo know that?
I don't know. Your choice. I think you probably knew that he enlisted. You know, again, your younger brother following along his older brother, right?
Right. Yeah, he'd probably be like, not even. As a noble, he'd probably be in some sort of like higher up position, not just like a grunt. But
He would have been entitled to that, but the fact that he was in effectively your division suggests that he was trying to follow along with his big brother.
Gotcha. So, I'm going to say that I was not aware that he was that he had. Maybe I was aware that he was in the army because everyone's in the army.
Yeah.
But like, I wasn't aware that he was kind of coming into my division or whatever.
Nice.
So this is kind of taking me completely by surprise.
And I think that would make sense too. Like Savalam, I'm not sure if both of you have some pretty rocky backstories with your families. Maybe you guys just don't ever talk about your families.
Yeah, he does. I mean, it's all about the present moment for him.
Yeah, awesome. So the Savalam, how do you feel? So the Rodrigo's Doxa says he's going to go along with this. How are you feeling?
Yeah, let's go. There's like, we're wasting time here. Let's go.
Okay. So let's do this, guys. We're a little over our halfway point. Why don't we take our mid-session break right now, and then we will come back, and you guys will make your expedition to the tower.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool.
Let me. Oh, I don't have any. I'll put spooky music on for our intermission music. Where is it here? Yeah. Let's do this. Here, I'll put the zombie music on. Okay. Cool. All right. Okay. We got Flame here in chat. Howdy, howdy. P1553D1. This is Pathfinder 2 set in Eberron. It is a mashup of Eberron and this. Let's see here. And thank you for subbing P1. Let's see here. Yes, I've opened. Hey, and there's Arlen. Howdy, howdy. Arlen says, there's dinosaur riding halflings. Why are we not playing those? Because I fucking hate the dinosaur riding halflings from Eberron. Oh. Let's see. Okay. I'll turn down this zombie chase music, which sounds to me more like a strange dance. All right, actually, while I am waiting here, maybe I'll quickly get stuff I need done in this last map here. Let's see here. Lighting, okay. So no fatalities in the first encounter. I'm clearly fucking slacking today. Jeez.
Yeah, we had that pretty well handled. we're all like, we're veterans of this war, so that's, you know.
Absolutely.
Little eyeless creature shouldn't be able to take us out.
Okay, let's see here. Let me get some of these.
Light on.
Let me get... you down. Get you up. Get you up. And... let's see here. We'll use this one here. Okay. There we go. All right, let me hit reconnect to get cameras back up. Okay, I've lost Sean. I've lost your camera. I'm not sure. Oop. Oh, okay, great. Just eating. Okay, yeah, no problem. Let me just put my camera. Oh no, sorry. Other Sean. Rodrigo Sean. He says he's eating. He got his camera off. I see now. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. So. Okay. So, let's do this. Let's get your guys over here. So why don't you guys describe for me what do we kind of see in kind of movie montage version of this as you guys make your way across kind of the no man's land area towards this tower.
Question.
Of course.
Would I have been able to replace my shield?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, you got a brand new shield.
And it's every hour it's every hour for treat wounds, right?
Yes, you can still. So you treated wounds. Yeah, you have to wait an hour. You could do that again. I think you would have had time. It'll only take you 10 minutes anyway. Go ahead and give me a medicine check, please.
Okay.
Let's see how you do. And the landscape that you're traveling through is very much like this. It's sort of like sparsely wooded areas. Oh, not good enough.
Let's see. Oh, yeah, not good
enough.
Okay. I think I have 3 hero points because you gave me. So I'll just use one of those.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Okay. Nice. Excellent. Okay.
Whoops.
Showing off now. Okay, so that makes you, yeah, go ahead and roll 2d8. You'll get that back.
Well,
So
is
6.
better than none. Okay.
Cool. All right. Okay, so, I think. Yeah. Now, let's see here. The tower itself is visible for miles, right? Like this is, you're only traveling a few miles to the, say, southwest. You guys will have to take a little bit of an indirect route just to avoid the chance of running into any Breelander scouts, because they may be coming from this direction as well too. As I said, this is an expected clash of 3 armies at this thing. So you can see this thing kind of looming over there. And Rodrigo, what is it? Like, what goes through your mind as you're like seeing that thing? Seeing it on the map is one thing, but seeing that edifice standing there, looming over you, and knowing that Arturo was there. What's he kind of going through right now?
I think he's still in shock that Arturo, one, was secretly enlisting in his group, in his division, or whatever it's called, and 2, that the commanding officer decided to send him out with a small crew to a very dangerous location. Seeing that he, let's see, but he's 8 years younger than me, or 9 years younger than me, something like that.
Yeah, like I think 9 or 10 even.
Yeah. So he'd definitely be, even if he's like a talented scout, he'd definitely be still kind of green when it comes to actual battle, I think.
Yeah.
So probably kind of mad that they would send him out to this kind of very dangerous job.
Yeah.
So, shock and kind of rage, fuming at like the stupid decision making that put him in this position that I have to now kind of try to fix.
And Savalom, I know we haven't really talked about your family. We know that you left behind your dragon-marked kin to serve in the Syrian army, but does he have any brothers or sisters, or?
Yeah, I'm not, maybe, or cousins. There'd be people he was close to, and I could. He's very quiet because he had to leave his family to do what he thought was right, but it's always left like kind of an open wound for him.
Sure, yeah.
I have to. And he worries about them. He doesn't really. I imagine being out on the front, he doesn't get much news from them.
Yeah.
So to see his Rodrigo's pain around, the not knowing what's happening with his brother, he feels the exact same thing, but he's also not the one where he really like talks and brags a lot, so he just kind of keeps it all to himself.
Okay. And what about Dox? I mean, Dox has lost a sibling already to this war. What is kind of going through his head?
I think Dox is remaining necessarily optimistic about finding Arturo, that this is a rescue mission, not a revenge mission, that we're going to find him. He's pinned. He couldn't get back. And wants to necessarily provide that, I think personally, and also provide that front for his friend. That's what I believe. And, we're going to get him.
Okay. Sorry, I just realized I forgot to set something. Perfect. Fucking almost Bush League DM'd it there. Good lord. Okay, so after about I think about 2 hours of travel, of kind of scrambling. This is the sort of like the proverbial scene from every D-Day landing movie of you guys like racing from road to road and hiding in the bushes and making your way carefully through the overgrowth, and you finally find yourself close to the tower. So you guys are up here. Boom.
Did you almost forget to turn on the dynamic lighting?
I did. Because I kept fucking it up so many times with turning the dynamic lighting on when I intended everyone to see shit. Yeah, so it's about 100 feet away, and it's probably about 40 or 50 feet up to the base. You see how it's raised up there too? There is, of course, the shattered remnants of a tower that has fallen here. There's remnants of what were likely hundreds of years ago. Other structures on the outskirts of this thing. That is what you see today.
Is this an actual cave we should be seeing up here at the top, or?
There is a cave in there as well, too. Yeah, it's probably, yeah. Everything else that's on here is apart from the things that I've got like clipping from one map to another as I tried to cover as best I could with other trees, but I just noticed I forgot some stuff.
You said we traveled for 2 hours?
You've been gone for about 2 hours, yeah.
Any way we could have taken a 10-minute stop again to treat wounds?
Absolutely, yep. Give me another...
I have medicine as well, if that can be of use, Rodrigo.
Are you do you have a better medicine check than I do?
I am a proficiency of 6.
I think I'm 5. Let me see.
Oh, wait, it's a 5, sorry. I'm a 5.
Yeah, alright, well then it's the same. I will just treat myself then.
Okay.
Look, Docs, let me see something. I think I may have fucked up something on your character sheet. That should have been 6. I don't know why it's at.
Well, you know what? I mean, it says, it's a modifier of 1, proficiency of 5.
So then...
It's the total bonus is what you're looking at.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The total bonus is 6.
Oh,
yeah.
Well then... well, I already rolled mine, but I would have taken his if he had it.
Okay, so yours, you try and bandage up, and try and you check on your bandages. I guess in this, it's your, there's still, it hasn't healed over yet. It's still bleeding or fresh to it. So you're like, oh, shit. Put it over. Now, you see that out there. What are you guys gonna do? What is the plan here? You've had certainly more than enough time to talk about how you're going to approach this.
Do we have any expectation or knowledge of who we expect to be at this tower? Like,
the difficulty is that it could be Carnathi forces, it could be Breedlander forces, it could be Thrain forces, it could be bandits, it could be some just horrible thing that's moved its way in there.
I would like to go ahead and take a look around, if it's all right with you two.
How far ahead do you want to scout?
At least to the berm.
Okay. So let's do this here.
How tall is the tower, like that is left standing, or is it all just
What
crashed
remains is about maybe about 1.5 stories up. There's sort of a large central structure, and then there is the remnants of what was the tower, and then there are some of the walls have collapsed in here, of course. But let's talk about stealth then, how this is going to work. So long as you've got cover, I believe you get to make a stealth check or sneak check. It's a sneak action.
Okay.
And let's see here. You can attempt to move from one place to another while becoming or staying undetected. Stride up to half your speed for one action. If you're undetected by a creature and it's impossible for that creature to observe you, like if you're behind a full cover or behind a barrier or whatever, then you remain unseen. At the end of your movement, I roll your stealth in secret and compare it to the perception DC, which is 10 plus the perception bonus. Perception DC of each creature you were hidden from or undetected by at the start of your movement. If you have cover or greater cover, then you get +2 for cover, +4 from greater cover. And I think with the amount of overgrowth here, you guys are going to have greater cover for the duration here. And here's one other badass thing, too. Docs, you have an ability called... Quiet Allies, a feat. You're skilled with moving as a group. When you are avoiding notice and your allies follow the expert, you and those allies can roll a single stealth check using the lowest modifier instead of rolling separately.
So lowest modifier would be whoever's the worst at stealth is the one that's rolling it.
Yeah. The advantage is, I guess you could spend a hero point to re-roll that, and you're not like just waiting for a whole bunch of fails to come up.
Gotcha.
So lowest one looks to be +1 from Rodrigo.
Rodrigo, yeah.
But Rodrigo will be following, if you're taking the exploration mode action, follow the allies. So what this is, guys, is during the exploration mode, if you got someone who has an expert level of proficiency in a skill, you can follow them. And then what you get is, it's a plus... I think you get to add +2 and your level when you're not trained in something. Normally, if you don't have training, you only get to add your modifier.
Based on your allies' proficiency.
Oh, level, so it's plus...
More for legendary.
Yeah. So you add your level's proficiency bonus +2 for being an expert. So if you led them, even your low score... Are you trained in stealth, Rodrigo?
I don't know.
No, you're not.
You okay.
You got a U, so it's untrained.
Where's that U? Because I don't see it.
I'm looking on, the Hero Lab one, but also if you click on the cog next to your skill, it'll show you what level of training you got.
Okay.
So what that would mean is that the lowest score would then be 3, 4, 5, 6. You'd still add +6 to the roll for stealth.
Great.
Shall I take us closer then? Maybe to this ruin right here.
Yep.
Up ahead.
We'll follow your lead. If you know the stealthiest way.
So on my character sheet, I have an Onyx dog. How long does that last?
The Onyx dog, so you can do that, I think it's once per day. Let's see here. Yeah, basically you summon a guard dog. It's just like Guinevere, Drizzt's pet thing. Only it's a dog. And you can do that once a day, and it lasts... Hold on. For some reason, it didn't show up in your Hero Lab character sheet. So that is a... Where is it? Onyx dog. Onyx dog. Where are you?
Is it a consumable?
It's concealed from me right now.
No, a consumable.
Oh, consumable. No, it's not. It's because it turns back. It's not a worn item. It is
Another rune.
Wondrous green Onyx dog. Here it is. Page 576.
Okay, there we go. I was in the wrong area. Okay, here we go. So an Onyx dog transforms into a guard dog. Bestiary page 102. Dog has +4 circumstance bonus to survival checks. Has dark vision. When it's activated, blah, 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 blah. It can be activated once per week and remains in its form for up to 6 hours.
All right, I'm pulling him out.
Nice. Okay. So the way he counts as a minion, so the way minions work is you can spend 1 action to command it, and then it gains 2 actions.
Okay, once I command it to attack, do I have to do that every single round?
Yes, you would have to do that. Spend 1 action to make it make those attacks.
Okay.
So let's see.
Will he act at all on his own?
Sorry, say again.
Will he act on his own at all?
No, he will not. So let's see here. Why don't I give you? I have 2 options for dog. One of them is like those goblin dogs, those like hairless rats with a goblin on the back. But let's use this guy instead.
Will the dog affect stealth?
Let's take a look at what guard dog has. Let me just quickly give you control over this token.
It says page 102 for the bestiary.
Go.
bestiary.
It's +4 circumstance to survival.
And it auto observes creatures with its sense, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and let me check the bestiary, and I'll give you the hit points of this thing in there. Where are you, dog? Guard dog. A whopping 8 hit points.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, he's gonna be around for a while.
He's a tank. You guys have been asking for a proper tank. Here you go. Okay, there we go. All right, so you can see you can control the token, and you got the thing there, Greg?
Yep, I can move him.
Perfect. Excellent. Okay, so, and his, let's see, he does +6 to hit and 1d4 +1 damage.
Will the dog be a factor in the stealth?
He has +5 to stealth. So he would be an ally. He would count as that single roll.
Okay.
Okay. So, all right. You know what? I don't think I'm going to need you to... there's the sound as well, too. Go ahead and make your stealth roll. I'm going to give you a +2 to hit just because there's rain and there's a lot of intervening shit in the way here.
Watch your footing, brothers. We'll move up ahead.
Nice. Love me some immersive role-playing. Whoa! Look at that big roll. Holy shit. So it's actually not +10 to be +6, so it's still 21.
So briefly, Dox disappears into the darkness and then remembers he's leading. Normally he likes disappearing, even to allies, and then he remembers and comes back and says, "This way, this way."
Okay. So go ahead and move yourselves up there, guys. I think you'll easily able to make your way up to that.
But the dog just kept following you automatically.
That's one loyal hound. You know, with my love of dogs and my proclivity for killing animal companions, I really should not have these things in. It's trauma every time. Okay.
It's
All right.
Interesting path you're taking.
it's serpentine.
Showing.
Shadows.
Are you coming back? No.
Come along, this way, this way.
Okay. Tell me when or if you guys can see anything inside the tower.
Nope.
Nope.
Once your characters do, that's when you will.
You can see a courtyard of, like...
Oh yeah, I can see a little bit of the stairs, it looks like. And I see an edge of a creature, I think.
There's a
But
token.
that's really far, so I don't know if my character would see it.
Okay, you can see. If your character can see it, if from your token is, then you'll... let's see here. I can hit Control L and see... Oh, yeah. Sovalon can see something's moving inside there. Sovalon, give me a perception check, will you? See if you can get a good eye on this.
Perceive.
Oof. That was not great. You see some movement for a split second and maybe like a leg, but it's gone before you can see it. Did you want to spend a hero point, or you want to wait and get closer?
I'll say there was some movement, but I couldn't make it out.
Rodrigo can see the edge of its foot sticking from the
Sure,
courtyard.
yeah. Give me a perception check as well.
Oh,
one.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Arturo! And you go running out.
I mean, I can see this as well, I suppose. Should I?
Maybe it's Arturo.
Yeah, give me... Docs, go ahead and give me a perception check.
All right.
It's a little better. So you can see very briefly for a second something low, much shorter than a man. It stands about maybe 4 feet, 3.5 feet tall. Something's moving in there. And the way that it shambles makes you think that it is not human. It moves in a weird herky-jerky kind of way. Either it's maybe drunk, or it's injured, or something else.
You're right, Rodriguez. There is movement, and I fear it's something turned, like our friends were before.
Maybe I can send the dog to run past and try to draw it out.
It's a possibility. There may be more than one, though.
They're kind of when you say that it could be someone turned like before. That gets Rodrigo very concerned and kind of wants to charge in there, but holds himself back because he's worried that Arturo might have been turned.
Okay.
So he's like, really, like, we gotta go, we gotta get in there, quick.
May I suggest that I take a quick peek, or do you want to all go together?
If you can do it quickly. I don't want. I'm worried about Arturo.
I'll be back in just a moment. I'm gonna creep up there. Kevin, my target will be like here.
Okay. So why don't you give me another stealth check, please? Actually, hold on. I'm supposed to roll this. What's your stealth bonus?
Oh. Yep.
Why no? Plus 10, isn't it? Yeah, plus
10.
10. Okay, let's see here. Okay. All right. You seem to make it up there without any difficulty. But what you can hear from within is this. It's a language that you don't understand, and honestly, it sounds kind of like gibberish. And there's this strange chattering that's going on. What are you hitting that's making you move like that? It's hilarious.
You can do that with the Q. So if you grab your token,
Yeah.
and what it's really for is measuring your distance.
Right,
so you
right.
can move while it tells you, and you can create turns if you hit the Q again.
Oh, okay.
That's the stealth key, Kevin. That's the stealth key.
Great. All right. So what, as you get there, and what it sounds like as well too is it sounds to you like there's things that are talking over each other at the same time, as if it's like two voices kind of talking over at the same time, and then two voices talking over in response. And when you combine that with the fact that you don't understand the language, it's this strange gibberish. You are certain that Rodrigo's brother would not be speaking this language or making those sounds. And
it is a language. It's not gibberish.
Well, why don't you? It does seem like it seems as if these things are communicating, and there's almost like it hurts your mind to listen to what that there are like hints of words that you might understand. You're not trained in occultism, right?
Correct.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, go ahead and move yourself up to. I'll move you up here. Boom. So you're right against the wall. That's where you've heard this stuff from right inside.
Okay.
Okay. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna try to take a peek.
Okay.
Peek around the edge.
So here's what you see. I'm just gonna put you there so you can yourself can drink it in.
Yep.
Now, what you see standing there.
Show me.
Oh.
Look like this. A thing out of Nightmare. Let's see, where is it? Yes.
Is a picture popping up?
I'm just loading a name for it.
Oh, cool.
Here we go. This, guys, whoopsies, is what you see. And you can see why it has you can see why it's making the sounds that you've heard. It's as if a goblin has been fused into another goblin.
More unholiness.
Drool is falling down from its face or its mouth, and it's carrying. Each of them is carrying an array of weaponry, like what you see in the picture too. There is no sign of Arturo.
Is that a goblin head in its shoulder?
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Yeah. So what you see, what you do see in here though are about 5 or maybe 6 battered and bloody bodies of Siren troops. You don't recognize anyone. Like they're either different coloring to Rodrigo, or they're different species or different ancestries. But
They're
yeah,
alive.
dead,
We're talking alive.
dead.
Oh, dead. Sorry.
Yeah, the spreading pools of blood around them, and
So
there's
fresh.
one or two that actually, like, the bodies themselves seem strangely desiccated.
And the killings seem fresh.
Yes, yeah. There's fresh pools of blood on the floor. In fact, one of those things is kind of like dipping its hand into the blood still and kind of, and then feeding its second mouth as well.
Doc shudders.
What time of day is it?
It is late afternoon. So what do you do, Docs?
So I count 4 or 5,
Yep.
and I take note of their weaponry. And since I'm up here, I'm going to go ahead and just quickly. I'm going to go around the corner and take a little look.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Sovalom and Rodrigo, what are you guys doing while Dox is reconnoitering this? Are you waiting for him, or are you...
Yeah, I think Rodrigo will creep up just a little bit because there's that little wall. Are we hidden behind that kind of tower wall piece, or is that
Yes.
like really short? Okay.
No,
So
it still stands probably about maybe about 7 to 10 feet tall in
So
places.
I'd probably go to like right here. Right
Sure.
here.
This
right or at the edge to kind of look around to see if I can see anything.
Sure. Let me see what you can see there. Give me
The
another
edge of the
perception
one
check. Let's see if you can
okay.
get a better vantage from here.
Oh,
Yeah.
a little bit.
So you see exactly as I described. Now, you're not trained in occultism either, are you?
No.
I don't think anyone is. Oh,
We
jeez.
avoid- we
Who
avoid
designed
that
these
now.
characters? Jesus.
A novice.
Yeah, I like that the GM created the characters and yet just keeps asking us over and over if we have a cultist. I like that. I like it.
Maybe my Warforged buddy who is not here.
Yeah.
was the occult guy.
Right.
Our no-show. They would have been all over this shit.
Or Kevin just enjoying over and over. Do you have occultism? Oh no. Oh, just over and over.
Oh, that's great. Okay. So yeah, you see this, and I think that the only thing you can think of is you don't need occultism to know that when there's two kind of there's multiple sources of horror, but one clear source of horror is that from deep under the bowels of Eberron, there is a wholly different region, the second kind of world, if you will. The second world is Kyber. And Kyber is where all the horrors that, and this is, from as far as your characters are considered, this is as much a myth as like, Prometheans would be in our, time. Tens of thousands of years ago, it said that some horrible things fought some horrible war and were driven underground. And it's rumored that there's, that there's druids who claim that these things sleep in the earth and will be awoken if seals are disturbed. And it's just there's never been any evidence of that stuff. But you do know that Kyber does have a specific magical quality that can make for really horrible shit. So this may be that, or it may be some kind of if these things are undead, maybe it's another Karnathi in innovation. But this is more twisted biology, it seems, than undead. So, what do you, knowing that those things are in the tower where Arturo is to be, what are you thinking, Rodrigo?
I'm waiting for Docs to get back so we can kind of plan how we want to go about it. But
Sure.
I think that he'll have out his javelin and his bastard sword and kind
Yep.
of put the shield on his back for now, just so that if something comes out of nowhere, he can throw the javelin.
Sure.
But yeah, I think that I'm just like, come on. Where are you, Docs? Come back.
Okay. Sovalon, what are you doing? Are you kind of in the
Yeah,
same
I'll come up
boat here?
behind it.
Okay. So you've got yourselves up there. Docs, did you see what you wanted to see up here?
Just a quick peek. Along this wall. Does this wall break here at all?
Nope.
So it's steady all right through here?
Yep.
Okay, he's going to just go to the edge. This is his last edge. He's going to go to the edge. This looks like an edge to me, so I'm going to go to here.
Okay.
If I pass an opening, I'll stop.
Sure.
It looks like right there is an opening.
Here's what you
Yeah,
can see.
is that... Yeah, okay.
So let's see.
And no movement?
No movement in there, no. And no sign of anyone in there either.
All right, I'm headed back to the group then.
Okay. Oh man, that's roll a nat 20 for your stealth check.
He's stealthy.
So, boom. You are back. Okay. So, seemingly coming out of nowhere, Dox reappears.
But you hear his voice first.
Nice.
Gentlemen, it appears... I beg your pardon.
Dog. Arr, arr.
Oh, we have a new companion. I see that we have inside. I counted 4 or 5 goblin monstrosities. They were like 2 of them fused together, spawned out of some pit with at least 4 arms, multiple weapons, some with ranged weapons, melee weapons, and unfortunately a group of the dead. And I put my hand on Rodrigo's shoulder, but trust, Arturo was not there.
Oh. Okay.
Sovalom, you feel a chill run down your spine. What he's described to you is something that you know as foul spawn. And foul spawn are horrible, twisted, and corrupted versions of the surface races, bent by these unknowably old and evil creatures known as the Lords of Zoriat. What he has described to you is consistent with the mauled bodies you would expect from their fleshcraft. Creatures crafted by the Dale Kier. What they've described is a fairly common grunt known as Dolgrims.
You said I get what you mean.
Yeah, so these things, and these are agents of Kyber. These are agents of an ancient and older threat to the surface races, something that is completely unrelated to the war, the Five Nations War. These things want nothing more than the... Oh, here we go. Yeah, they come from a second world of dark passages, echoing caverns, sunless seas, and maddening horrors. That is what is Kyber, the dragon below.
I share that with them.
Rodrigo goes pale, and he seems concerned. This is terrible. We must tell the officers. This might change the whole tide of the war if we have to deal with creatures that we've never dealt with before. I still want to find Arturo. We need to figure out how to get in there to see if he's in there somewhere. But yeah, this is not good.
And as context for the world as well, like these things, there are a number of what in other D&D settings would be considered monsters, that do serve as mercenaries or shock troops or whatever, Medusas, even illithids, what else? Minotaurs, humanoids, lots of those things. This is beyond the pale. This is demons. This is, the chaos of the dragon beneath. None of these things would ever serve anyone.
Are they intelligent, or we know that they're?
They are in the twisted kind of Lovecraftian way that, like, say, the deep ones are intelligent. They have a wit and cleverness about them that is bent solely for the evil intent of its mindless and mad masters.
Chaotic evil, not lawful evil.
Precisely, yeah.
Well,
go ahead.
since I know what they look like, I think I can disguise myself as one well enough that I could possibly get a peek inside.
Yeah.
Well, I will offer. I am a changeling. I could possibly do so as well. We could go in together, or
Yeah, and call out if we need help.
I think that I would be able to look like that monster in any way, but I will watch from the shadows or from good cover and hopefully be close enough to support you. But did you see any entrance that might be better than the opening at the bottom? We could kind of take them by surprise or get at least a little closer.
well, indeed, there is a opening on the right side over there that seemed clear of their presence. I'm not certain of the connection, but I would think that the two spaces connect in the middle somehow. We might try that.
If we can somehow take them by surprise, or maybe bring one or two out kind of quietly to deal with individually, that would be better. But if not, then we'll just have to. You guys wanted to disguise yourselves. Play dress up.
Yeah, way to infantilize their plan. You and your stupid dress up.
And with the remark of the dress up, I change at that moment, Kevin,
Okay.
and try. Yeah.
Yeah, and you look like one of these things.
Give my comrades a good look at what we're facing.
Yeah. Rodrigo will attack Docs.
Yeah. Docs, I'll give you a hero point for that. That's a really good plan. That's a good way of making use of your abilities to communicate what you're looking at.
I also want to at this point take a minute to figure out how I can change my let's see. So my clothes, Kevin, is there anything, what is apparent of my past apparel when I change? Anything?
Good question. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
Yep. Because what I'm thinking, guys, is just so that I've got something on me that you can tell me apart from the others, from the bad guys, if things come to that.
I mean, when you change, does it just I guess your clothes would have to change too, right?
I believe so.
Because if your body is changing to weird anatomy, then your clothes would be rough.
Right, I believe so.
Let's see.
So, Kevin, my intent is to have something on me that something fairly innocuous, and yet my comrades can tell me apart from.
Yeah. So you retain, for your ability at least, you alter your physical forms, take on the appearance of a medium humanoid. This thing, unfortunately, is not a humanoid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You retain your stats in your new form, and your clothing, armor, and possessions do not change.
Oh, well.
Okay.
So you give a really good description of what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
So do you think, I feel like it would be really, I'd love to see you do the disguise check, but I don't know how you would be able to, like, do you have a kit or something that would give you more arms or something like that? How would you disguise yourself as one of these guys? Sabo.
What is your deception bonus there, Docs or Sobalam?
My deception is, hold on, because for mine, the illusionary, I create an illusion that causes me to appear as another creature of the same body shape.
Oh, you know what, guys? These are humanoids. They so yeah, you can do that. Sorry, they're small, unfortunately. So you're gonna have to try to, you know, to deal with the fact that you're bigger than what these things should be, or at least what these other ones are. But yeah, the humanoid thing is not a barrier to it.
Okay.
Mine has to be roughly the same height within 6 inches and the same weight within 50 pounds.
Okay. So it might look like a kind of an oversized
yeah.
Dolgrim, but
Docs could change.
My deception is 4. So
and you get +4 from the spell, I think. So it'd be +8 in total. How about you?
Mine is 8. Deception's 8.
You're sorry, 8, so you'd be 12 in total for yours. So you might be the more convincing of the two, but...
Yeah. If Docs changes to one of them, then you could copy Docs, because that'll be in the same height range instead of trying to copy them.
Well, good thing.
So it's like 2 bigger, like maybe they're like big boss types. Like go in there and be like, go. Although you can't speak the language, so I don't know.
Yeah, I can't. It doesn't give me the. I can't even utter things because it won't sound like them.
Just do some gibberish at them. Hopefully that works. Blah 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 blah. Pointing.
So what is the plan for when you guys get in? What is, I guess, the ultimate plan here? Are you guys reconnoitering in here in the plan, or are you guys engaging these things?
And I'm going to stuff all my clothes, except for my pants, in my pack, so I resemble them more.
Okay.
But I'm going to take my buckle, keep my belt on, and point out to my comrades, you know, what my belt looks like. I'm wearing this. If I get mixed up with them, you know, this is me.
Okay. They all had different weaponry as well, from what you saw too, Doc. So I mean, it could also be just like keep an eye out for my rapier and my, you know, dagger.
Yep. And I'll be wearing a bow. I have a bow. I have a short bow.
I have a jaunty chapeau on.
Not a chapeau, a bow.
Oh, okay. Okay.
A short bow, a rapier, and a dagger.
And then, Sovalam, you're going to be kind of in the same shape as well too then?
Yeah, and I can change my clothing and worn items. Anything in my hands will not be affected, so I'll just hold something that's obviously clearly mine.
Yeah.
And
So
I thought the plan is we can go in and try to look around, and then if we can't, if we find something great. If not, we can put ourselves in a position to basically surprise them and attack them from 2 angles.
So are you guys going to go through the big center hole that we looked through, or are you going to try to go up from the top?
I'm thinking over here because there's less. I didn't see any around this corner over here.
So do you want me to go that direction with you guys, or try to hide around where the other side? You said you want to do a pincher, but if all 5 of them just see me, that could be dangerous.
I think you should stick with us, and if we're able to engage, you know, like one singly or 2, you can join in.
Totally. Okay. I agree with that idea. Is there any way to give the dog over to another person after you activate it, or is it like going to follow you regardless?
I think that it's so like PF2 has a kind of like magic attuning kind of thing that's similar to other thing, but I don't really care for the purpose of this session. So if you want to like make standing commands for it to follow Rodrigo, it just means that Rodrigo's got to spend an action to give the 2. Hi, sweetie.
Right.
On cue, your dog.
Kevin. Yeah. I just summoned my hound.
You just summoned your own hound. It's impressive.
I just figure if Sovalam's going to be pretending to be one of those guys, having that ebony dog there might be a little bit of a giveaway.
Yeah, I was going to have him stay with you, but
okay, yeah.
If you're coming with us, it doesn't matter at this point.
Yeah, okay. Why don't we try to stealth all the way to the top of the tower, to the top of entrance to the tower?
Okay, give me 1 sec here, guys. I'm just gonna.
Say that last part again, Sean.
Oh, I was saying that we should stealth to the top entrance of the tower that you were checking out.
Okay.
And I'm ready for that. I think I'll switch back to sword and shield instead of put the javelin away.
Okay. Excellent.
Yeah.
All right. Then.
Well, now that we're changed, Savalam, I guess we probably won't be stealthing Rodrigo, but maybe you should at least, Rodrigo.
Okay.
Because we're changed, so we shouldn't alarm them if we are spotted. But
do you want to avoid being spotted at first as much as you can? And
yeah,
then,
maybe that's right.
Then
Good call.
if they do catch you,
yeah,
that will deceive them.
Sure, give that a shot.
Okay. So let's do this.
We're coming over here.
Yeah. Underneath, right? Down there.
Up on top.
Yes.
Okay. Let me turn down this.
I will just jump over there, unless you want us to like show the path.
Oh yeah, I guess
we're going.
Should have asked.
Do you want us to show the path?
No,
Kevin?
that's fine. That's fine. I think
All right.
I trust you guys are.
Stealth checks, Kevin?
I think you guys are okay getting there.
Okay.
Okay. So you all make your way over there. And we have two who appear to be Dahlgrims at this point. And Rodrigo, I think you can hear over the... Because for the most part, these walls are just freestanding now. There's a structure right here, about 20 feet away from you. That's where the remnants of the tower in the center are still going up. But otherwise, there's no ceiling. These are exposed to the elements. You could climb over these walls if you chose to. And the sound that carries over is horrific. They picture the awful babble of like a crowd, like a crowd at a party, but they're speaking in this awful like kind of voices and in an unintelligible tongue. It chills you to think that Arturo is somewhere in there. So, guys, why don't we do this? Let's start ratcheting the tension up. Everyone click on their token and go ahead and click on your initiative. And I think what you can use is stealth for initiative for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's what I thought.
Woo! Rico. Oh man, actually they're... Okay. So descending. Alright. First up, Savalam. So you appear to be one of these horrific things right now. What are you doing?
I think I will try to move up to this wall. Yeah, wait. Oh, I gotta come this way. Here's 1, 2, 3, 5. And then I will hold for dogs. And before I go, I tell the dog to follow Rodrigo.
Okay.
Follow and protect Rodrigo.
Okay. Now, what you hear is something that kind of chills you. You hear another voice. And this voice is hauntingly smooth and sonorous, but with these weird, discordant elements to it, as if like someone with a deep and rich baritone spoke through like torn vocal cords, where every now and then there's this kind of quality that goes through, and it speaks in that confident, strong tone in the same gibberish language that these other chattering voices have heard. But it's deeper. And there's the more chattering as well. That seems to be just on the other side of this wall. Docs,
I kind of do some hand. I think Docs can see me.
Yeah.
I do some kind of hand signal to there's something on the other side of the wall.
Okay. Docs, what are you doing? If you're stealthing, just remember you're moving at half speed is all.
I was muted. Sorry. Is
That's
there
good.
so that's an opening right there?
Yep, you can squeeze through there.
So let's see, 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Remember, you got three. You still got your full complement of actions, guys. If you want to move a little
that's
further,
true.
you can do that, or if you just want to move three. I'm not going to move the Dolgrim until you guys actually see them. They're otherwise just sort of moving around in there and talking to each other and listening to whatever the source of that voice is.
And the sound's coming from through there?
From over here. Other side of the wall somewhere.
And we don't see any openings in the wall, or I guess.
There's something down here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And this is all solid right here, right, Kevin?
So from basically here to here, here is solid. That's where the tower is. The tower still goes up about another story and a half, so it's about 2.5 stories up for what remains of the tower that fell to near where Rodrigo is. And it's from within there that you heard that voice.
Solvalom, I suspect that this opening down there will take us into the space where I witnessed 4 or 5 of them. Shall we try to find our way into the tower instead?
He nods, yeah.
Okay.
Let's proceed down this way.
Okay. So Solvalom and Docs are very slowly moving out of your line of sight there, Rodrigo.
Well, I can. They moved up and they didn't seem like there was a problem with them being there. Nobody made any noises, so I'm going to try to move up to where they were.
Okay.
My speed says 25 feet, but I also have the fleet feet, which would make my speed 30 feet. And my speed
I think
by armor.
So the reason you're 25 is humans are 25 feet. You lose 10 because of your armor, but then because your strength's so high, you gain 5 back, and then you're still 5 down. So then it brings you back up to the 25 feet because of fleet.
Gotcha. Okay. So then half speed would be 10 feet if I'm stealthing.
Yeah.
So I will keep doing the stealthing because I don't want my armor to be banging and all that. So
Sure.
I'll do 3 moves and try to get to there. I think, let's see,
Okay.
5, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah. That's to here.
Okay. Excellent. Okay, and then you can go ahead and move dog. Yeah, behind you. Excellent. All right. So you get yourself there without, and you likewise hear that same, rasping, weird voice as well too. Lone Star, thousands and they're chattering again too. Sobalum, what are you doing?
I will. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. I'll move up and. Basically, I'm looking for any entrances, holes through the wall. Something.
So here, you could easily climb over this wall, but you can hear on the far side that same chattering, maddening voice the double voice that you heard from the Dolgrim.
And where does on this wall, where does the tower end? Like about here?
Tower ends about there. Yeah.
Okay. I'll just go down here to make sure there's nothing, but I don't see anything. Or
No, it seems to be this is dead end. There is, the ceiling is completely gone on this part too, so you could again easily make your way over if you so chose.
That's the end of my movement for the round.
Rodrigo, would you give me a perception check again, please?
Not great.
You want to spend a hero point then?
He's taunting you.
Yeah.
Yep. No, I'm going to allow the to say I didn't hear anything more.
Here's what I'll also give you. You can succeed at cost.
What does that mean?
That means you can, if there is something to be heard, you can do that, but something will happen that will cost you your success. Not it won't prevent the success, but you'll gain success at a difficulty. It's an idea from a lot of Apocalypse World games and from the 2D20 Conan games, and I love it. Just devil's bargain.
See, that worries me because it sounds like I'm going to hear something, but then they're going to hear me, and boom, cat's
We trust your judgment, Sean.
I'm going to wait till my turn to see, because I have an idea, so I'm going to not have succeeded.
Okay. Docs.
So Docs can tell that Sabalam found no ingress, right?
That's correct. Apart from going over the wall.
Docs is going to take a little peek outside this wall just to see if it offers any other ideas for ingress into the tower.
Yeah, go ahead.
He's going to go around the edge. He's going to keep going.
Okay, go ahead.
He wants to get to this edge of the tower, so he's just going to, so he can see around it to see what's over there. So, but this is the end of his movement right there.
Okay. Rodrigo, what are you doing?
All right, Rodrigo is not the type to be very patient when action is at hand.
Yeah.
I'm not going to screw over the party and just jump into a fight, but he is going to. You said right here I can kind of try to look over the wall, or is this too high here?
Let's see. You could get from over here or
so
over
there.
here.
Where's yeah? I'm going to do the top one.
Top one, okay.
Yeah. So let's see. I don't want to move out of stealth. You said over all. I have to move all the way over here.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think I can get there in stealth. So I'll have to wait till next turn, because that's 3 actions.
Okay, so you cautiously make your way over there.
Yeah.
I'll let you store your sword or whatnot for free as well too. You're not gonna have to. You'll have done that as you're quietly making your way along.
Awesome.
Sobalam, what are you doing?
All right. Well, now everybody's disappeared. I have no idea if anybody went.
Where'd
you
you
know it's
fuckers
getting
go?
good when you can't see any other PCs, you know it's getting good.
Yeah, guys.
This is, how can we split it more? As far as I know, splitting the party is usually the best option.
Let me open this up.
Rodrigo, send the dog a different direction.
There you go.
Go check out that cave up there. Let's see. So he went through here, so I guess I'm gonna just kind of come to here.
Yeah.
See, I can kind of see in both around the corners, but I'm not still seeing anybody, so I'm just kind of like, all right. I'm listening very intently.
Okay, well, here, give me a perception check, and Docs, give me a stealth check, please. Let's see who beats who here. Let's see if you can hear him. Whoa, cheapers. Let's see how Docs. 26, of course. So you have no earthly idea where he's gone. Rodrigo, would you kind of give me a will save, please?
Oh. Yes, I will. Oh. Hey.
Nice. Okay, so here's what happens. As you're making your way along that wall, when you get to around here, you feel this sort of like tightness in your chest. You feel a difficulty with your breathing, and you have a feeling of weight upon you. And though it has been 1.5 decades, you know when you felt this way before.
Rodrigo goes pale again, and it's that feeling he remembers from the pool or from the fountain, and it kind of schisms his mind into two thoughts of one, is this Arturo related? Like, am I close to Arturo and him in danger, or is this having to do with these creatures, or is it like, where's this feeling of the dragon mark? Would I know dragon mark?
Yes, you would know. Yeah.
So is this feeling of the dragon mark coming from Arturo's presence and something having to do with the evil magic, or is it strictly from whatever? Did I hear that voice or no? That smooth voice?
I think you did, yeah.
Okay. So then, or is it coming from that guy? So, yeah, I'm concerned, but I'm also hopeful that maybe that means Arturo is close, that I can deal with him.
Okay. Docs, what are you doing?
Docs is, he's wanting to get to this corner, so he continues peeking around this corner to see what he can see. No revelations. He's a bit of an explorer, that Docs. He continues looking for that next corner that he knows is going to provide the answer. The doorway we seek. Oh, I see someone there. So we'll see if I see a.
Oh, you can ignore that. That's just it's a separate token. I need to, because what I invariably do is I'll add a turn for a bunch of monsters, and then of course it's the first one I fucking delete.
Oh, I see.
So this is my way of working around my own idiocy.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All good. That's better for me, so that'd be fine. That it's not there.
Okay.
That's the end of my turn.
It's in your turn. Okay, Rodrigo.
All right, Rodrigo wants to know what is on the other side of that wall. There's an opening here, right? Like right over here. Is that an opening?
It is, yeah.
Like it?
Yeah, pretty big one too.
He's not. It would be. I could reach that in this turn, or I could try to peek over the edge. My only concern is that lifting my head, the top of my head will be visible to them as well before my eyes get over that edge. So.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Here's what I'm going to give you. So there is another fun concept in PF2 called the flat check. And basically, what it is just it replaces all like percentile rolls from before. You just roll a d20 and you see what you got. I'm going to give it a 5% chance that there's actually a gap you can look through.
All right.
So give me a flat check, a DC 1. Let's see if we can. I'll give it a little higher than that. Let's say DC 3. So it's 15% chance of seeing it.
So I roll a d20 and a 1, 2, 3. I can get a hole.
You can you can poke through it, and see.
Gotcha. Okay. Oh, nope.
No, it's still this solid mortar work is still holding up after all these centuries.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I think I will take 2 actions to move to the edge and kind of peek around the corner, because it's probably quieter and less likely for me to screw everything up.
Okay. So why don't we do this?
If that's open like that, I wouldn't have gone that far. I would have gone here.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, is that wall? See, there's a little wall there, right here. I'm trying to be right around the edge of that wall. So
I think it's just you could be over there if you're going to poke your head around. Why don't we do this? Give me a stealth check, please. I'm going to give you a +4 to the roll because I'm assuming you're doing just like the top. Yeah. Top of your head.
All right, that needs a hero point. For sure.
That's begging for a hero point.
Hero point. Work. Go.
Oh my
Oh, Rodrigo.
And the game changes.
So I think you, like, as you're poking around, you try and lean on one of the bricks, because it's been so solid before, and then that slides out, and whack, hits the ground. All of these ones that you can see down there, look over. They are now, because you rolled effectively a crit failure as well, then they're going to be aware. They're not just, you're not unseen, you're detected.
Yeah.
So they know precisely where you are. And, oh, look whose turn it is next. Awesome.
Yeah. Roll20 was like, you guys are taking too long. Let's
Right.
stop going.
So this first one...
Roll20 blamed it on Docs. I'm sure. Come back, Docs. What are you doing?
I, for one, blame the DM. Who set up these characters? All right, so this thing comes like screeching and running down the stairs in its horrible double speak. And let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4.
My guess is Rodrigo's probably a little happy it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I didn't try to
like,
climb the wall, so do I still have my sword
Yes.
out? Or okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so the first one comes racing in, and it's using its double-armed kind of trying to attack you.
Easy.
Turns out 2 sessions of doing stupid voices is a little tough.
We're going to need a saving throw from the GM.
You just
Really? I keep forgetting to drink. Okay, so here we go. So this thing comes in and attacks. Okay, so the first attack is a miss altogether.
Okay.
The second one is at -5. Does a 20 on the nose hit you?
No, I'm a 21.
Nice! Okay, is that with your shield or without?
Without my shield. My with shield is 23.
Ah, awesome. So it comes running in, and it slashes at you. You duck back, and it just kind of sparks fly as one of that broken morning star kind of goes across your armor. The second one is going to move forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And again, these things move like they're not built properly. Like they're limping and shambling and kind of grunting as they move. This one instead loads its crossbow and fires it at you. 19 misses. But they seem to have some pretty... These other ones, deeper in, they do not know. One of them is going to walk out. It'll see you, and then kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's racing down those stairs to come and get to you. And I'm going to move the other ones inside. Oh, whoops. It's distorted the... There's got to be a way to lock the tokens at the size they are. I just keep forgetting to do that, so every now and then I'll just like, and they'll stretch out.
Yeah.
Okay, that is the end of the Dahlgrim's turn. Savalam, you can hear the sound of battle from within there.
All right, I am going to, not bothering. I want to try to jump over this wall.
Oh.
Okay. So
Be
the
careful
wall is
there.
about...
Well, I'm still in disguise, so I'm hoping even if they see me, they're just going to ignore me.
Yeah. Okay, so let me see here. Jump. It is an athletics check.
Athletics?
Let's see here.
I'm okay at athletics.
Okay, so jump. High jump. On a success, you can jump... Let's see here. The leap action is a basic action. You can jump 10 feet horizontally. What's a vertical jump, though?
5 feet? That's really tall, right?
3 feet vertically.
Well, it's not. I don't want to like leap over it. I'm more like pummel over it.
Yeah, jump. So if you kind of want to, give it a whether you're climbing over it or like jumping and climbing over it. Just give me a athletics check. Let's see how you do here.
Oh. Here's my first hero point.
Okay. Nice.
I've got one. I only got one left. Damn.
Okay.
All right. Oh boy.
Here goes.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
hate when you use a hero point and then you just gets totally blown.
Yeah. But because you guys are diving into battle, everybody gets a hero point.
Oh, there.
Okay. So you go scrambling over. Go ahead and position yourself over. I think you could go over about here, Savalam. And I'm going to say that's 2 actions, so you'll still have 1 action left. Unless you're planning on kind of staying on the top of that that wall there.
React to me?
Say again?
Does this guy right in front of me react to me?
I don't know if he's seen you. He has not seen you. No. He's looking over in this direction.
And what is this over here?
Oh, that. I am so glad you asked. And also because you rolled, I rolled a nat 20 for you on your occultism check. You know precisely what this thing is. Let me give you the.
It's Arturo.
Image of it.
Oh, please don't be Arturo. That would make me so bad.
Well, you do see Arturo as well. So what you see, let me do the proper lead up here. There we go. All right. So, first off, what you see as you scramble over, right near the base of that that broken staircase, right in front of that thing, right here.
Mm-hmm.
Let me draw it. Actually, I'll do a little shape here. Let me fill it in. Right here.
Mm.
There is a brilliant, glowing symbol, as if right in the ground itself. And you know from your experience in the Dragonmark House, and you know the mystic symbols that etch themselves across your chest. You can feel a bit of like electricity arc across it. Mm. This is a dragon mark, a manifestation of the draconic prophecy across the very face of Eberron. And lying in the middle of this glowing golden symbol is a man who you can tell looks like a young version of Rodrigo. And standing over this thing, gesticulating with its broken arms and flailing tentacles, is this.
Oh.
Definitely an ally.
Definitely. And because you rolled so well as well, you know, unfortunately, precisely what this is. This is a Dol Gaunt, a horrific master to the lesser beings of Kyber and a drinker of souls.
Do I know anything about him?
Sorry?
Do I know anything about him?
They drink souls.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Those, you do not want to get hit with those fibrous tentacles, because they will drain your very soul out. The essence that makes up your being. Savalam, you have one more action. This guy's completely unaware of you. And let's make a perception check for the Dol Gaunt there, the Master of the Tower. So the Master of the Tower, you can feel those vacant eye sockets staring at you. You now have the source of that horrifically smooth voice. Oops.
Alright, well, this is a one-shot, so screw it.
What are you doing?
I'm going to start walking towards him, kind of like the creatures are. Like, if I'm making my way towards Rodrigo.
Yep.
I want to see. I get to here.
Okay. And Arturo's right at your feet in the middle of that.
Yeah. So my plan is I'm going to try to grab Arturo and make a run for it.
Okay.
We'll see if the disguise holds.
The Master of the Tower makes no indication that he is aware. Okay. Let me make a. Drop him into the initiative order here. Or it, I should say. Yowza. Okay. So actually that works out perfectly.
Oh man, I have no strength.
Docs, what are you doing?
So I can hear the commotion.
You can, yep.
of the battle ensuing.
You can, absolutely.
So, sprinting back
Okay.
to enjoin.
Now, if you want to as well, you could climb this wall here.
Oh, really?
Yep, and make your way and drop down inside.
Really? How high is that wall?
About 10 feet as well, too.
Was there any wall that's higher than that?
Well, I mean, the one that's around the tower, around the main structure
But
there.
that's very tall.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too high. All right, I'll go to the 10.
Okay. I think there's one move to get there, and then go ahead and give me an athletics check, please.
All right, I do have a climbing kit. I don't know if that would come into this.
Yeah, the climbing kit, I'm going to assume gives you a +2 to the roll. Normally, like just for you guys' edification, the recommended kind of like situational bonus is a +1. But I'd give +2 with a kit if you're actually getting that thing out.
The
Yeah,
another
kit
thing
has a bunch of different things in it that you would have to like apply, like things to put on your shoes and
like crampons and pythons
yeah,
and
and
stuff like that.
the thing on the rope that you throw with hooks in it.
Grappling hook?
Yeah, it has
Yeah.
like those different things.
This might interest you, Sean. There's only a handful of types of bonuses in this. There are only circumstance, status, what are them? Circumstance, status, item, and I can't remember what the other one is. But there's just a handful, and I think attribute or ability. That's it. So, like figuring out what stacks and whatever else is much easier in this.
Cool. Yep. Okay.
Oh, different
so,
Sean. No, it's Sean Rodrigo. He comes from a very, very extensive Pathfinder 1 background.
Cool.
Okay, so let's see here. It's a great athletics check. Oh, it's from Savalom. Give us an athletics check, Docs. 16? Okay, so I think that you get to the top then.
Okay.
You're kind of on the top and you can see down. I'll move you over to the far side so you can see what's going on down here. But that is what's going on. And Rodrigo, these horrible Dolgrims are now in your grill. What are you doing?
Do I have my shield out, or did I have my shield put away?
You did have your shield out, yeah.
Okay, so I have my shield and my sword. I think that I see that a bunch of them are coming, so I want to be a little tactical about it.
Okay.
So I'm going to first tell the dog to go flank it and then attack, because I give him, if I use one command or one action, I give him 2 actions, right?
That's right, yep.
Attack. So the dog will, I don't control the dog, so if you want to put him on the other side here, and then attack the creature, because I can't move him.
And flanking is a thing in this. If you're flanking, you get they make them flat-footed.
Yeah.
Put them all the way over here.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Now,
exactly.
just like in PF2 or in original Pathfinder and D&D, there is a thing called reactions, but generally you can kind of judge what can have a reaction. These things do not. They are far too crude of combatants to have the discipline.
I was hoping that would be the case, and also I was using the dog to
Just suck him up.
Yeah, it's just a piece of ebony or not ebony, whatever it is, opal. No, doesn't matter. So he's gonna the 2 actions is a move and then attack this creature with a flank.
Excellent.
So the dog is gonna attack.
Dog. So it's +6 to hit. Go ahead and make an attack. So maybe just roll a d6,
or I'll just roll
or d20. Sorry,
d20. Sure.
Yeah, d6. Come on, Madison, get it together.
Oops, wait a second. Yeah, that's not. That didn't do anything. So the dog missed.
Dog missed.
Yeah. Okay. So 1 action, and 2nd action, I'm going to. I'm trying to think if I should power attack or just regular. I think I'll just regular attack so I can raise my shield. So I'm going to attack this guy.
Whoa. Not a crit, but it is a hit.
Mm-hmm.
Whack.
Okay. And then, yeah, 7 damage. Then the last action, I'll raise my shield.
Nice. Okay. Dolgrim's turn. All right. So the first one is going to engage with you, lashes out with the 2 of its weapons and that horrible spiked shield. Misses with 1, hits with another, does not crit.
This is 23 now, AC.
23 AC, yeah, I rolled a 19 to hit.
Awesome, okay.
So it doesn't crit, but does... Okay, where is it? There we go. It is... Oh, are you interposing your shield?
I was going to check the... I guess I should ask before the damage. Yeah, I'm going to interpose shield.
Okay, 5 points of damage. Bang! Completely sucked up by your shield. No damage to your shield.
Awesome.
And then it will spend its last action... actually, it's going to try and flank, because it is just stupid. So, if you... Oh, and you use your reaction already.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Okay. This other one goes slamming down into Onyx Dog. And that is a hit. Because I rolled, 23. I don't think it's a crit. 11 damage. I think we're...
He evaporates.
Yeah.
Okay. But you sucked up a hit. Onyx Dog, you did what you were here for. Okay. And then it kind of runs into you there, Rodrigo, and that is it. This other one reloads its crossbow and fires, misses, and then spends its last action reloading so it can fire twice next turn. These ones still... Oh, actually, let me make perception checks for them. The top one... No, failed. Bottom one. The bottom one kind of steps forward and is challenging you, Docs, in that weird language, that devil talk language.
All right.
Master of the Tower looks at you, Sovalom, standing there in this twisted form, its giant vacant eyes, its tongue hanging out. It says to you, and waits, as if waiting a response. Its tendrils kind of whipping about its head and torso, expectingly waiting for you to answer. Sovalom, your turn. What are you doing?
Okay.
Get him, Savalon.
Arturo's like unconscious?
Yeah, completely unconscious. Sweating profusely and seems to be kind of babbling, maybe. Not the same language that these things are speaking, but something else.
Alright, so the spell animal form, if I change into a deer, I can't get him on my back, can I?
No, deers, you would not have them digits to manipulate. Unless you want to skewer them on your horns, but that may not... I saved them!
Crocodile, use your jaws.
If I did it as a bear, would I be able to get him into my maw without actually damaging him?
Or your claw. You could scoop them up and use your... I think that the bears have enough, kind of like range of motion in their claws to do that.
Okay, so I'm going to cast Animal Form.
Okay. So Animal Form has a... what are the components for that?
It's somatic and verbal.
Okay, so somatic means that it is a manipulate thing which may trigger a reaction. Fortunately, no one expects you to do anything weird. So you just... And, let's see here.
So I am curious, would the disguise fall?
Yes, you would be... Well, let's take a look here. Let's see what rules is written says. So your illusory disguise...
Don't you turn into a bear?
Because it just says 1 hour, where like the animal form says or dismissed.
Yeah, 1 minute or dismiss. Because one says you transform yourself, the other one calls an illusion. Now, what I'm curious of, if the animal form makes you bigger, Oh, medium animal form. Yeah, so, you know, I mean, I'm fine with you being a bear that looks like a Dolgrim. It's good use of spells, so...
And then, but he's expecting me to say something, right?
He is, yeah.
And I just turned into a bear. I should have said something first.
And World of Warcraft has trained me to think that as soon as you cast that spell, you go...
All right, well, I'm not going to grab him. I'm going to wait and grab him next turn because I want to move if I grab him right now. So I'm just kind of like... Well, I mean, illusory is just kind of blankly staring at the guy.
Okay. Excellent.
Yeah, I think that's... I'll forego my last action to... hopefully, God, this works.
Sure, and as a bear, you've got...
Oh, I get 5 extra hit points.
Wow, yeah. Extra hit points, you have a... you've got a jaw attack, a bite of 2d8 piercing as well.
Yeah.
And your AC is now 16 plus your level.
That's 19. And then...
Yeah, pretty good. Plus 9 to hit with your attack as well. And damage bonus plus 1, so it's 2d8 plus 1. Wow. Alright, so Sovalam finishes your... Docs, what are you doing?
I am going to... is it... So, 10 feet... 10 feet to the ground?
10 feet to the ground, correct.
Is it possible to drop down?
Yeah,
Or climbing? Or no?
give me an acrobatics check. Yeah, you know what? No, don't worry about it. I don't think you take damage in the first 10 feet. And if I'm wrong about that, I don't really care. So, you drop down. Poof. Okay.
And then I...
2 more actions.
I guess as a... Perhaps, I don't know if it counts as a free action where, I'll go... some kind of generic grunt.
Give me a deception roll, please. Let's see how this goes over. Oh man, you just did the Dolgrim equivalent of like Durka Durka. So, all right. Then that was your action. This thing, it's tough to read its expression because it's got 2 faces melded together.
I'm going to quick draw and strike. Nice. Oh, or is that too far?
It's too far. Yeah.
I will. I'm gonna try to push. I'm gonna try to push my. He's a deceivy kind of rogue. I mean, I'm gonna draw my weapons, or I guess draw my weapon. Can you draw 2 with an action, or just 1?
Just 1.
I'll draw my rapier.
Okay.
And gesture with it and continue my like.
Sean, you can only have a max of 3 hero points. I just noticed that you're 4.
Got it.
Yeah. Once you hit 3, that's all you got.
Got it.
All right, Rodrigo.
No.
You are
You should use
engaged.
it for the deception, but... Yeah,
Oh, that's true. No, it's too late. I think it just disappeared anyway.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to attack the top one, regular style.
Go.
Hopefully I can destroy it. How easy were these guys to hit? I think... I'm going to use it... I don't think that hits him. I think I'm going to use a
16. Does hit.
It does hit?
Yeah,
okay,
that hits.
Well, then I'm not going to use a hero point.
Okay.
Is he still standing?
He is barely standing, yeah.
Okay. I was hoping to knock him down.
2 more actions.
Yeah. I'm gonna move. I don't want to be flanked, and I want to get kind of in to help out. So I'm gonna move like 15, 20, 25. So that's 25. And then...
Okay, so one thing with that type of movement, guys, I just remember every second diagonal counts 2.
I added that.
Did you? Okay, sorry.
Yeah, it said 20 on this, but I counted it as 25.
Got it. Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were racing over there?
Is this a wall? Can I, like this area right there? What is this?
I don't think so. No, that's just a little bit of a step up.
Okay.
And you can see the master of the tower now as well.
Can I see my brother?
You cannot, no.
Okay. Can I see Sablon?
I don't think so. No, that wall's in the way, unfortunately.
Oh, okay, so this is a wall right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll just count that one square as difficult terrain, or you can give me an athletics check and just jump over it.
I'll do the athletics check.
Sure. Give me athletics, please.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, man. Yeah, go ahead. In fact, you know, with that's a crit. Ignore the second diagonal.
Okay.
The second diagonal only costs a regular amount.
So I could get to right close to that creepy guy.
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to be tactical.
That's okay.
Let's see. I'm gonna move. I'm not gonna jump up to that guy. I'm gonna move over because I can see docks from here. Right?
You can. Yeah.
Okay,
Dolgrim
so
docks, but yeah.
I'm gonna try to move towards docks.
Okay,
And
go
I
ahead.
know that these guys are following, but they have to come and get me.
Yeah.
So did you say I could ignore one of the diagonals? Or
Yeah.
was
Ignore
that
the second diagonal counts only as one,
Right. Okay.
and your fourth one will count as two again.
Okay. So fourth one will count as 2. So that should be 25 there. Okay. All right.
Yep.
3 actions. I'm in
Awesome.
the midst of everything, but
Let's see
let's see
here.
what happens.
You can see Arturo in that dragon, and it's obviously, you know, the same mark you saw drawn out in petals and flowers and stuff like that too. You can feel its pull. Do you call out his name?
Yeah, sure. Yes. Is he-
Arturo!
Yeah. He's unconscious on the ground, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's.
And you see the master. The master kind of, his head snaps away from you, Savalom, and the tentacles begin kind of twisting. It looks like he's going to be going directly in Rodrigo's direction.
Awesome.
Okay, these things, Dolgrims. This one hears you cry. It actually ignores Docs and was racing up behind you. Or beside you, Rodrigo. Let's see here. 17 does not hit.
Nope.
Neither does a 21, does it? It's 23.
21 does, because I don't have my shield up.
Oh, shit. Okay. He does hit. Let's see here. You take a whopping 5 points of damage
Alright.
from this little spear that gets in on you. The other one loads. He finishes loading his crossbow. He fires at you once. That's a hit. You take 11 points of damage from the crossbow. He fires, reloads it, fires a second time. That is a miss. And then these guys, 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, I guess you can. And 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that'll be good enough. So he only gets 1 attack on you. That's a hit. Jeez.
Rodrigo's going down.
Oh, okay. Here we go. That is an 11 damage as well.
Jesus.
And this injured one
that
comes.
potion, remember?
3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. That's that. And then this one that is engaged with Savalom. 1, 2, 3. Oh, he's gonna get
Attack of opportunity.
What's that? Yes.
Attack of opportunity.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, excellent.
Come on, crit.
You go. Nice! Excellent. So what does it look like as you cut this thing down?
It steps 1 step too close in a poor movement, and I chop right through the center of its gross mouth.
Beautiful. And this thing spews out disgusting ichor. Does not get an attack on you.
Awesome.
The master strides forward. Okay, to there, and then those horrible tentacles actually reach far enough forward to get to you. First one is a 25.
Yep.
You are hit for 6 points of damage, and I need a fortitude save from you, please. Nice! Critical success, which means you take none of the effect. So this thing hits you, and for a split second, one of those disgusting, fleshy tentacles begins, like, you can feel cold burning and weakness coming over your shoulder, and you jerk the thing off, and it does not have any effect on you. That is it, Savalum. You are a big bear looking like a Dolgrim. What are you doing?
So I kind of see that Rodrigo's like in the middle of it over there, but just as one soldier or another, I assume he'd want me to help his brother first.
Yeah.
So I do my plan. I grab his brother and I start. I guess I'm going to move. That's one action to grab him.
Yep. You can move full regular move. Don't worry about the encumbrance or like having the one paw, occupied.
2, 3, 4. So let's see. That's one movement. Is that a wall there?
On the where you are, maybe you can move through that though. Oh yeah, that is a wall. You'd have to move down here.
All right, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think I can get all the way to here.
Okay. When you get to there, you hear.
I'm going to kind of assume now that the illusory self dropped. I mean, I can't be carrying this guy and running like a bear.
Sure. Okay, so it's gone, and now there's this big bear. Rodrigo, you can see this bear making a run for it with Arturo, and you know from past experience this is, it's Savalon. That's one thing he can do with his magics. Dox, what are you doing?
Dox is his target. Trying to best move like they do. Does he want to take on the? Yeah, no. That's no.
Can I see Docs?
You can. I don't know. Let's see. Is there? Yeah.
Can I free action to because I know it's him, right? Because he looks different.
Yeah.
Can I just free action to point away or something? Because let him know what's what my plans are. So I point I'm gonna run. So.
Do I? What do you think, Kevin? Should I make a roll, or do you think I pick up on it?
I think you guys have served together for at least a couple of years now. You got that military hand signal stuff down pat.
Okay. Let's see. I am going to. I'll climb back up the wall.
Okay.
right back the way I came.
Yeah. Give me.
I haven't hit anything. I haven't. All
right. Give us a athletics check, please.
Okay.
That is not great. Do you want to spend a hero point?
Yeah.
You're sitting like Scrooge McDuck on top of. Oh no!
I knew it.
Oh no! So some of the masonry kind of gives away, and you're not quite able to get up, and the master's head snaps over. And let me make another check for him. No, he still thinks you're one of his. Okay. Rodrigo, what are you doing?
He thinks I'm one of his lower IQ troops.
Is this wall down here jumpable or no?
If you toss your shield aside, I think maybe you could make it over it.
What if I toss my shield over the wall?
Oh, that would be an action then. So it would take one of your actions away?
That's fine.
It's fine, yeah.
Right. How many? I only need one action for the athletics.
For the athletics, yep, that's right.
So one to move 2
Yep.
to throw, 3 to jump. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's my plan.
Sounds good to
So
me.
I'm
Okay.
gonna Throw it over the wall.
None of these things
And-
have reactions.
Yeah.
Nope.
That was my thought.
Okay.
I'm gonna use a hero point.
Okay.
Come on, go. Yeah, that's better.
Nice. Okay, so what does it look like as you jump onto this wall? I'm scrambling over.
Seeing that we accomplished getting Arturo out of there and seeing that I am almost dead, I book it, tactically, of course, not out of cowardice, and throw my shield up over the wall, and as the shield is flying, I jump 2 arms, grab the top, and just pull myself up to the top. I don't know if I can get all the way over.
I'll say you'll get all the way over. You know what? And
All
I think because of where you guys have positioned yourselves as well too, you're easily going to be able to get away and get to the place where you had intended on reuniting.
Awesome.
So let's quickly just cut to that scene. I know we're over time right now, but we will be wrapping up any moment here. Okay, so this, there we go. Let's get the sounds of the forest up.
This is the denouement soundtrack.
Yes. So, you guys have reconvened at a point that is near the edge of this hill that makes up this. You're kind of, Arturo is still insensate in this bear's arm. Oh, bear's only 1 minute, so you're probably back to Sovalom again.
Yeah, I might be actually dragging him behind me at this point.
So Sovalom has him with him, and you're kind of resting against a tree where you guys are going to relocate. Rodrigo's comes. You're just panting. Run. I'm imagining full tilt. In your plate armor, and Dox, you also come and meet up at this point. I'm assuming you've dropped your Dahlgrim disguise at this point.
I'm thinking that I've forgotten about it, and I'm just standing there as a Dahlgrim.
Okay. All right, so then you reach there, and then that lightning crash I heard, you come running up towards him, and you got a kind of advantage of seeing the armies, being arrayed out right now. And what you hear, as you come up, Rodrigo, you're sort of like about to hit him, and the word that comes out of Rodrigo's mouth, it's actually in common again, or the words that come out, he's mumbling. The morning comes. The morning comes. And you kind of look at him like you're not quite sure, and that's when you hear it. It's the sound of imagine being thrown into a roaring blast furnace. That incredible, angry and hungry sound of a furious fire. And all of you look to the east. And what you see, the eastern sky, it seems to catch on fire. Clouds, fog, and the air itself ignite in a terrible conflagration. The sky is illuminated in lurid orange and red, casting strange shadows across rolling banks of gray fog. Great tendrils of fiery lightning reach across the cloud-draped sky. A huge bank of gray mist, lit from within by a raging fire, is sweeping down the road from the east. You can no longer see the armies fighting on the road below. They're hidden by the gray fog. Occasional flashes of fire are all you can see in the mist that hides the battlefield, but the echoes of distant screams reach your ears. And then, as suddenly as it began, deathly silence falls over the hillside and around the ruined tower. You cannot see the road below, and no more cries reach you from the battlefield. That dead gray mist hangs in the air like a wall around Seir, too still, too quiet. Something has happened. And as you guys stand there trying to process what you see, what I can tell you is that henceforth, in the years to come, where is it here? The date of... Whoop. ...20 Olaroon in the year 994 YK is known as the Morning, because all of Seer was consumed, the entire country.
What?
In the years that came, rumors and accusations were thrown around, but none know the cause of the Morning. All that's known is that within the year, the Treaty of Thronehold was reached, and a final end to the last war came. We will pick up with these characters again in 4 years' time. And that is how we are ending our session. So,
That's
for
heavy.
those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for this very special one-shot, our open table Eberron Pathfinder 2nd Edition one-shot. Guys, for those who are unfamiliar with Eberron, this is a cataclysmic signature event from the setting. This is what caused the end of the century-long last war. And it is a mystery to this day in the setting as to what caused the Morning. And in place of Seer, there now is this massive mist-filled area known as the Mournland, a blasted landscape where none survived it. So, for those listening at home, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, please do not hesitate to comment in the comment section below, and I will endeavor to reply in a timely fashion. Alternatively, let's put something a little cheerier on here. I mean, I just killed your entire nation, but technically Keith Baker did.
we survived, right?
You survived, exactly.
The hero survived.
The country was going to live if we died, but we lived, so then the country died.
Yeah.
Exactly. As always, so again, you can leave a comment in the comment section below. You can reach me on Twitter at Dungeon Musings. You can shoot me an email. My email address is dungeonmusings@gmail.com. But the best way to reach me nowadays is on the Dungeon Musings Discord server, which you can find a link to in the description below. This was the first of our monthly open table sessions. If you do want to join us in an open table session as well, please feel free to join the Discord server and join us on the channel for the open table sessions, and we will let you know when the next session is going to be. In addition, you may notice there's a link to something in the description called Heroes Save Villages. That is the charity fundraising campaign that we run on the channel. We don't monetize the channel in any way. We don't run any ads. We don't run any a Patreon. If you are inclined to toss any military rations in the direction of the channel, I would encourage you to click through and learn a little more about that charity initiative. It all goes to benefit the SOS Children's Villages International Organization, a really terrific organization that is active in over 130 countries, providing advocacy and benefits for over 80,000 orphaned and abandoned children. It's a really terrific organization that does a lot to provide an actual childhood for kids who would otherwise not have them. Of course, I don't want anyone to feel obligated, but if you are inclined to toss any financial incentives in the direction of the channel, I would encourage you to click through, see some of the rewards we have there, and consider donating. Any money donated goes directly to SOS Children's Villages International to help them do the very good work that they do. Last but not least, I want to thank my players. So, Sean, and Greg, thank you so much for joining me for this inaugural open table session. I hope you had fun.
Yeah, this was great.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Really good.
So then, again, for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us, and we hope to see you again soon, maybe around the table. Until next time, though, happy gaming.